Fully bearded men? Okay.
Well, okay. Well, hey,
All
look.
right. Wow, if that's
in my
what we're
heart
gonna...
of hearts, I have that beard that you have right now, but it's just not physically there. I'm working on it.
Oh God.
I'm doing the Disturbed look. Like I'm
really?
the lead singer of some punk band or something.
Oh, I gotta clean my frames up a little bit here.
Yes. You guys have your microphone off of your mouth. Here we go. Now we can see my facial hair. I'll just crank it up a little bit.
Proper mic.
Yeah, it's pointed up. It's very close to my face. It's just hard to tell because of perspective.
I'll just do this. There we go.
You can't really even tell that much. Like, see, now you can see. You can tell because of this.
That's probably.
My camera's blocking.
Well, you talk into
It's right there.
You talk into this part of your mic, right? Into the end.
That part right there.
Yeah. I'm talking to the mine. Mine's on the front.
Mine's on the front too.
I don't talk
into
but it's not the same. Listen, what's lost? Hey. Oh,
nothing.
There it is.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell much of a difference.
Yeah,
Hey. It's a little bit.
It's a good pickup pattern.
It would be fine.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just do this.
Such dope mics. Those are the mics they use on Crit Roll.
Sure, SM7Bs, the industry standard.
Mm-hmm. Those are the mics we use in the radio station. Oh, they're ever so fancy.
They're very cool.
I want
what brand?
They're very, very cool. Sure.
Oh, sure. I always, anytime I know I'm asking Eid something, if the answer is in the affirmative, it's always O-R-E, sure.
Sure.
Lanny!
You can't just say sure anymore, can you? I literally can't and say it anymore.
Yeah, it's hard for me now.
Yeah, anything.
Boy as opposed to boy?
Anything. I gotta go do chores.
What chores do you have?
I mean, they're not. When you have your own place, I guess they're not technically chores, but
they're just responsibilities. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I clean things sometimes.
I called them errands earlier when I was talking to you guys about how I needed to run some errands. It was just that's such a weird word, errands.
Such an old person word.
Yeah,
it is. Well, you had said errands the other day to me, I think.
What?
So don't even. Yeah, you said you had to run some errands.
To go like pick up a Davenport. What are you even talking about?
I was unloading the dishwasher and I changed out the kitty litter and vacuumed. I was being
chores. Yeah, you did your chores.
I guess. Chores were what my parents wrote a list out when they were gone, like, because I was a latchkey kid. So I was the first home, and then I was home alone for like half an hour. And then my sisters came home from high school. My brother went straight to the golf course. And then we would have this list of chores that we had to do, whether it was like vacuuming and all that. So I guess it's the same thing. But I don't call them chores anymore because I choose to do them. Chores is like a word. It's the opposite of choose. You choose and you chore. A chore is given to you. And
voluntold.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
Oh no, I'm with you.
Some sort of conversation here.
I'm with you. My tweets are out. I am.
Promotional image and tweet is away.
Hell yes.
Bang.
I'm just gonna be a bad tweeter and just retweet y'all.
Wow.
So,
I mean, that's what I do usually.
You know what's really funny is I don't know how it shows up on regular Twitter, but if you see it, I'm using TweetDeck. It just looks like it's a picture of me, but if you click it, there's three of us. I don't know if it's
I just see Dan. I see Dan
see me
doing the.
That's great.
It's a yoga pose. That's a little like chest expansion there.
I had to Photoshop it because it was like a very wide image that bothers me, especially for something like Twitter. You don't want it to like expand.
Oh yeah, it's real long.
Everybody's
smiling. And
you just straight face.
I like I'm about to be hit by a train. Ah! Oh, I didn't realize you could see the edge of my wall. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I like that I can see the green screen because this is like a look back. Usually you're on the grid or in the game.
Yeah.
The grid. Can you disable your green screen real quick so that you're on the green or the grid?
Not without fucking everything up.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I could just tear it down in real life. Whoosh.
Yeah.
And have the grid back there.
I'm gonna host you, Mr. Eads.
Are
that going on too?
You don't auto-host me. I auto-host you.
I do auto-host you, but I have friends who stream all fucking day long, and they start before you. So
Hey, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Sometimes I'll get on early if I see the auto-hosts are open. I'm like, I gotta get started. I gotta grab these.
I had Amanda being auto-hosted before you, but nah, we're doing this. Sorry. Sorry, girlfriend.
Take that, Spoon. My other girlfriend, whom I'm hosting currently too. No, it's always Spoon. Spoon's always on, so usually he's on before you start, and then on after you're done. So I usually have to manually auto host you. I should just take him off my auto host and manually host Spoon whenever I don't have anything on.
Inside Twitch stuff.
Yeah, really.
Fascinating. I'm just going to turn.
Hey, that's what people are tuning in for.
I'm going to keep talking so it makes it easier for you to tell if levels are okay. Here I go talking again. Now I'm upset, and I'm going to talk a little bit louder. Woo! Oh no, Mass Effect is the most expansive universe in any game ever.
Red Dust.
Any game.
You telling me Metal Gear?
Red Dust. Red Sand, actually.
Red
Blue
Sand.
Sun?
Yeah, you're right. Red Sand.
Yeah.
Blue Sun. Yeah.
Blue
Yellow
Sun?
Eclipse.
Pink Freud.
Pink Freud.
I like that shirt. I was just chuckling to myself about that shirt.
Thanks very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I'm just wearing a Royal
Oh,
shirt.
oh, you cheater, Mister! Not gonna look at the chat, eh? Oh, caught you, Max.
We're technically not on. This isn't the beginning yet, right?
It's begun.
It has begun. It will be a very free-form podcast. We can listen. We can look at the chat. It's probably gonna happen on time. Never mind. Fuck you, chat.
I refuse.
Oh well, fuck you.
As a former someone from the chat, I refuse to be in the chat.
Look how far you've come, all the way from someone in the chat to here, a member of
someone on the podcast.
the
now.
Talking Reckless podcast. That's right.
This is my first time on
Is
the
it really?
on the Talking Reckless. Yeah, on the Talking Reckless one.
What's it? I mean, it's the same. Were you ever on the previous ones?
I was on Angsty. I was
Yeah.
never
Were you?
on. Yeah, I was on the Angsty multiple times.
What?
And yeah,
I
I
feel
still
like
have the
that's probably
episodes
true.
on
Yeah.
my computer.
Which
of
episodes?
When I don't know.
You should
Let me-
totally
let me
look
find
that
them.
up. I've been slowly re-uploading
I
those
have
Angsty
them.
podcasts on the Patreon.
Yeah.
You're really
I have-
on? There's only like
I'll
25 or
send you
30
the
of
audio.
them.
Yeah, it was 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't know. Let's see here.
That's so wild. That's blowing my mind.
I keep everything. Believe me.
That's so
I
insane.
remember I was singing in one of them. I remember at the start.
That is blowing my mind. So we've all podcasted together before. Probably
Oh, yeah.
us three in a podcast at one point.
Yeah, there's some other people that I didn't know who were a part of that podcast. I know Craig was. Craig must have been there.
I was going to say
Yeah.
if we could get Craig Kasecki roped in on this podcast here tonight, that'd be great.
I have spoken with him in the last 4 months, 3
Have you?
months. Yeah, he streams on Twitch sometimes now.
It'd be interesting to reconnect with him. I haven't spoken with him in fucking forever.
Last time we saw him was probably the last time you saw him. He came to E3 with us and was like our camera guy.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. Hadn't talked to him in probably 5 or 6 years before that. And he's just like, hey, what are you doing? Going E3? Great, me too. We should team up. Sure.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah. That
And
was
then
cool.
never again for any E3.
No, never again. And now it's
you don't want to go to E3 anyways now. It's just a whole mess.
cutainment and all this nonsense.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna get just a smidge more max. Folks in the chat, how are our levels sounding? How is Matthew? How is Daniel? How is Maxwell?
I have the most black bar in the crop on the screen.
All right. Here we go.
I like it. I like
Here
that
we
fact.
go. Oh,
You know,
Like
it
a
actually.
frame around me.
I was going to say, it almost looks like what are you doing to me?
Max is
Jesus
just a mouth now.
It almost looked like a frame, like an actual frame.
yeah.
Probably just leave
We're
it
all
there
like
so it
different.
looks like a frame.
We're all different sizes, and listen, we've always been a very shoestring production, you know.
Uh-huh.
Low budget, shall we say? We're like Saw. We're like Saw 1.
What
Low
kind of
budget,
shoe?
but
Mm.
what kind of shoestring? The curly ones. The like, you can't actually tie them because they're all springy.
Mm.
I've never seen those before.
What, really? You never had
Like
like no
this?
tie laces as a kid? Yeah, exactly like your
Yeah.
headphone cord. Yeah, and you just kind of
I've
you just
never-
slipped your
no.
shoes on.
You just do like this, and you just like
No.
stick them together, and it's like, oh, it's tied now.
No, you don't even. You just pull them. You just like give them a good like, and the loops kind
Does Canada not have Velcro?
of. We do, but the
Don't
Velcro
talk
like
about Velcro, Dan. How dare you?
I think Velcro is a Canadian invention.
Is it?
It sounds
me-
like something the Canadians. would come up with.
let me check this fact-based podcast here. This is cool because we can actually look things up for once.
I mean, and luckily I don't have to type.
List of Canadian inventions. Let's
George
see.
de Menstrau. That sounds kind of Canadian, like he's a French Canadian guy. Nope, Switzerland.
Got the Swiss. Stole another one
Swiss.
from us. Stole another one.
They like fine things.
First
like
they took our
Velcro and
chocolates.
clocks.
Then they took our shoelace or our Velcro.
George
Yup.
de Menstrau also was the one who coined the term menstruating. Was an electrical engine. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It sounded like it could have been.
Oh wow. He invented both menstruation and Velcro.
He was,
What a monster.
I don't like this at all. I'm going to call it after me, menstruating.
Y'all ever have penny loafers that actually had the penny in the little slit?
Yeah, I did when I was a kid.
You ever try to get the penny out?
I never made the connection. Why do they put pennies in penny loafers? What?
Maybe it's lucky.
Just make it look a little fancy pants. It's like a little thing.
I have money, and I put it in my shoes.
Do you think there were some assholes that put? I mean, there had to have been some assholes that was like, "Look at my dime loafers, you fucking peasants."
Quarter loafers.
$1 loafers. It hurts my feet when I walk.
Damn, do I look good? And everyone knows they're poor and I'm not.
$2 coins in Canada. We slot in those loafers.
Jesus.
Now that's big money loafers. Yeah, toonies, bud. We have toonies.
Oh, toonies and loonies, yeah.
A lot of people think toonies aren't real, but toonies, totally real. They have a T-Rex on them.
What?
Yeah, the national dinosaur of Canada, the T-Rex. Yep.
All right. Mm-hmm. Is it because there's a lot to discover there, I'm assuming?
Or did you guys just like, yeah, there's a big...
We like
big. They also have the Queen of England on their currency as well.
She's also another different type of dinosaur, so...
we have the Royal Tyrrell Museum, and lots of dinosaurs in Canada, and you know what hoodoos are?
Hoodoos?
I've been to Hooters before.
No, hoodoos.
As in hoodoo you'd voodoo?
Yes, exactly like that. They're like rock. They're like it's hard to describe. They're like it's a rock formation where it's like a big flat top and then like a little spire. And there's a Hoodoo. Hoodoo. And where Alberta is famous for them and their dinosaur bones, apparently. The Albertasaurus, it's discovered in Alberta. That's the one that's bigger than the T-Rex.
Oh, crap.
That's the big one in that Jurassic Park movie, I think, where it shows up and eats T-Rex. And everyone's like, oh.
And the third one?
That might not be an Albertasaurus. Let's find out.
Hoodoo sounds like an upcoming streaming service.
It does. Yeah.
Sign up on Hoodoo.
Oh, it is the Albertasaurus. Oh, no. The Albertasaurus first made its Jurassic Park debut in the video game Jurassic Park Trespasser.
I like hoodoos.
I also like hoodoos.
There's on Amazon Prime, there's a couple series. There's Dino Dan, and then there's Dino Dana. Now, my interest in these shows started off because the show is called Dino Dan. But now, Dino Dana, I would say, is way better than Dino Dan. But it's just a kid show where this kid is obsessed with dinosaurs, and it's kind of it's a kid who walks around in a vest who's a little weird and really likes dinosaurs.
Were you not obsessed with dinosaurs as a kid? I was. I wanted to be a dinosaur when I grew up. I kind of still do.
Oh yeah, Jurassic Park and I saw The Lost World in theaters. I never saw the first one because it was 93, I think, 92, 93 for Jurassic Park.
93 might be right.
I saw Lost World, I think it was 96, something like that. My uncle sat behind me and scared the crap out of me during the the Raptors in the field scene where people are just getting picked out. Like, he grabbed my shoulders and really freaked me out. I was like, you son of a bitch.
I remember the one where the dog gets eaten. Upsetting me a lot. I think that might be the first one, right?
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, there's a Tyrannosaurus and... What's the one with the ship? With the ship in the hand. Is that the first one?
Ship in the hand.
Where the ship just comes like crashing into the harbor, and there's a severed hand on the release the T-Rex.
Lost World, yeah.
That's Lost World. Okay, all right. There's a doghouse. Anyways, it's like the doghouse is. I can't remember. I feel like the Tyrannosaurus eats the whole doghouse or something. Or it's like hanging by a chain.
The goat that got sacrificed to the T-Rex.
Yeah.
I also love that in Jurassic World, the game, like, they have it the exact same way. It's just the goat that comes up from the platform that, like, like the slot opens from the ground and the goat just gets... Great.
Yeah, the only gameplay I've seen of that was when you were streaming that back when that came out.
It's a good game.
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, good game. Since I've been playing the other game. I don't want to talk too much about video games.
Well, yeah, I'll bring us in here. We'll talk all about video games. Ready, gentlemen? You buckle up. Mush the podcast dogs.
Yeah.
Big smile.
Ones that haven't been eaten by dinosaurs.
Remember big smiles? Let the hooks do their work. Welcome to the show. It's October the 7th, 2019, episode 292 of the Talking Reckless podcast. I think that's right. I'll verify that. It's Matt Eads. We're taking this Talking Reckless podcast on the online road. It's a bit of a Talking Reckless EX, if you will. DanzNewz, Daniel Gidlow is here with us.
Hey, that's me. I'm DanzNewz, Daniel Gidlow.
And GassyMexican, a.k.a. Max Power, is here as well.
That is also me. I wish my name actually was Max Power. It'd be fucking awesome.
It's Max Gonzalez, who I believe we probably last saw on this podcast. The cars. New Year's 2017? 2017.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Not the one I ruined, but the one before that, I think.
The conversation always seems to be who ruined which Christmas party or Christmas podcast.
That's exactly. We've taken our turns. We've taken our turns.
I think I don't think you weren't the only one that quote unquote ruined that podcast when I was there. You and someone else was getting really fucking heated about something. And then I was like, before I could tell, it was over. And I was like, oh, fuck.
I'm not, that one was all over. I'm not taking any blame on that one. We were fine.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. You
made it right to the end.
Both
Oliver had never once in his life played Breath of the Wild and demanded the Breath of the Wild not be on our Game of the Year.
Well, that's craziness.
January the 25th. Tune in for this year's New Year's show where none of that's going to happen. Well, it probably
it's just going to be peace and love.
That's right. We're just going to talk about video games and hang with our buds, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited for how that goes.
Hell yes.
Well, it's the worst one ever.
Yeah, it turns out that
claws come out.
We talked a bit about it. We're going to split off the heavy drinking from the talking about video games this year. And what if it is the worst one? Our sponsor Fireball would probably be very happy if this thing tanked without them.
Fireball.
You like Fireball? Well.
Oh, Fireball's so tasty.
So tasty. Light up your night. It's super
so spicy. It's not even, the bite doesn't come from the alcohol portion of it. Just fucking cinnamon.
It doesn't taste like...
It tastes like Red Hots. The gum.
Doesn't sound smooth.
Very anti-sugar when I drink.
Big Red.
Yeah, I mean, I live my life. I try to live my life anti-sugar, but Fireball is the gap in my armor.
I'll happily take a regular shot of whiskey if people are shooting Fireball.
Jameson. We still have that bottle of Jameson of yours from...
That's incredible.
Them years ago. I think it was empty, but the bottle is still down there.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because if I was there, that bottle would have fucking gone. Yeah. Within a few days, probably.
Spoilers. We talked a little bit about it. We're having a guest this year. It's going to be Max!
Hey!
Woo! An impartial judicator to bring order to that Game of the Year chaos.
Yeah.
January the 25th. Yeah. It's going to be dope shit.
Yeah. I remember trying to do that a little bit before, but it got beyond me. I was like, oh, fuck. I remember I tried to mediate it, and I was like, listen, I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, but let's all... It was far beyond that.
It's like that scene in Game of Thrones where he's drowning in corpses, and that was just Max. You're like, oh, wait. Just the hand disappearing.
Wanted to help. Yeah, I'm excited though. I think it'll go good. I think it's really smart to separate the heavy drinking. We can still be drinking.
Oh, of course.
Separate the heavy drinking from actually deliberating and figuring out the shit that's important, because that's usually what happens, because it takes so long to get to Game of the Year, and by then you're so far into the drinks that it doesn't fucking matter, and your arguments are just so emotionally drunken fueled.
You don't even care about the games. You just want to prove the person beside you is wrong.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
January the 25th. Buckle up, gang. It's going to be our biggest, best one ever, like we do every year. We'll one-up it. Video games, gentlemen, the fake pretense, the excuse we used to get together every week. Y'all been playing any of those? We usually talk about video games a little bit here on the podcast and just sort of, shoot the shit here in part one.
Sure.
Y'all got any? Listen, I will go first because I wrote stuff on the show notes. I played a little Mass Effect 3 this week. Nothing to report. Mass Effect 3, fucking awesome. Turns out, it's very expensive. I don't know if I'd say it's the most expensive. It's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Well, now, no, it's not. Like,
yeah, and the Metal Gear games came out. Andromeda,
Ugh.
Did you all play Andromeda?
Oh yeah, I played Andromeda. Yeah. You
didn't beat it?
I haven't beaten it. No.
You're
which is really sad.
Not missing that.
It took you a long time to get through Mass Effect 3 though, when that came out too.
Yeah, it's always taken me a little bit to get through the series in general, just because I don't want them to end, so I take my time with them.
Yeah.
This one is, I just don't really want to play it too much. I think I'm going to play it offline. It's never going to be on stream because it's just not worth it. It's not worth chat.
Yeah.
Just constantly berating me about why the fuck I'm playing that game. And
it's hard not to be salty, honestly, as you play it.
Exactly. And I'd rather have the ability to just, if it sucks, to be like, all right, fuck this shit. I'm going to go do something else, as opposed to being on stream and being like, well, I guess the stream's over or we're switching to a different game.
Yeah. Did you get far enough to beat Kumail Nanjiani?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was...
You beat him in that game?
No. He's saying, you beat him?
I wish.
Nanjiani?
Beat the... Stop being in video games.
Yeah, there's a bit
He doesn't have a vocal range.
Yeah.
That's his thing, is like he just sounds like Kumail.
Yeah, he's a bad orc and he's a bad Solarian.
I haven't gotten to him being an orc in Shadow of War yet. At some point, he's coming around, but I have not gotten there yet.
It's something else in Shadow.
When I saw that he was in Shadow, I was like, what the fuck?
He's so bad in Shadow. Ranger! Oh my goodness. Murder you.
Those guys suck, huh?
Like, he just sounds like himself.
He was good in
thank
Walking
God you
Dead.
saved me from those guys.
Who's
He
the...
was
Oh,
good in
yes.
Walking Dead back
yes.
in season 2.
Yeah. Because he just plays a man.
Yeah,
He just plays a dude.
Yeah.
But when you have all those guys who are like, Ranger, what are you doing here? And then you just have Kumail,
Ranger. Hey guys, I'm coming. Wait for me, guys.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the orc that doesn't fit in or something like that. He's like kind of like the wimpy orc, right? But even a wimpy orc, like, I don't know if it's gonna sound like that. Like, he's just so like, well, we got to have a character for him because we want to have him in this game. He's this big actor comedian guy. Got to add some star power here. What do we do? I guess he'll be this kind of weak ass.
We got lots of orcs. He could be an orc, I guess.
Yeah,
Look,
sure.
people are pissed off about microtransactions with this game. We need Kumail Nanjiani to break us out of this.
Yeah, I like the idea that they couldn't go ahead on production. Do we have Kumail? Are we good to go on Shadow of War? I mean, if Kumail's not in this. Tough sell.
Might not happen. Got Troy Baker in every other role.
Yeah, every other orc is Troy.
I could see how, like, I can see him being in Mass Effect as a Solarian, specifically a Solarian, more than an orc, because at least his voice type fits a little bit as a Solarian. But you know what, his delivery and stuff, I was still like, all right, you're just Kumail Nanjiani, and you're not like, I don't think he
needs that cadence, you know.
I don't think he appropriately, like, did something different with the performance to be like, oh, you're this Solarian, not Kumail. You know what I mean?
Sounds
like, if he took his voice and like added some different ways of speaking, sped up, slow down, like just added a little hook that made his way of talking different and personality different, then it would have been okay. But it wasn't. It was just Kumail like, I'm a scientist on this ship.
Not a bad Kumail, actually. That's like really spot on. Yeah, he's not great, man.
That's how he is.
It's the star power, I guess. Like, he must have been pretty popular around then. I don't know.
He was popping off. Big Sick was really big box office wise. He was kind of, I don't know, he's a little bit more in the scene. I really like him. He seems to be in more and more. He was in that Stuber movie, and he was in Men in Black International. He played a little alien guy, which I did not see, but he was in the trailer, heavily featured. He was just doing his voice.
Yeah, you can pick him
out. So yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff, and I really like him. He was in the first episode of the new Twilight Zone redo on CBS All Access.
Talented actor.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but I mean, he doesn't have much range, I would say.
No. I like him too, like as just like a comedian and an actor and some stuff like that. I'm not going out there to see Stuber or anything like that. I don't know.
It was okay. It was very bad.
Like it would have been okay. It was one of those ones like, I'll watch it later when it comes out.
Batista was the surprise kind of breakout of that movie.
Yeah,
less than Kumail. Kumail was just kind of doing his thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Potentially future Marcus Phoenix Batista?
Yeah, well, he's wanted to be Marcus Phoenix for 10 plus years. He was my pick for Marcus Phoenix back in the day. When I saw him, I was like, he looks exactly like Marcus Phoenix. And that's before I knew he could act, because he was in the WWE.
I mean, what is the WWE if not the highest form of sports acting, I might say.
That's true.
I would say The Rock, though. Like, back in the day, I wouldn't have, after watching him in WWE, I'm like, yeah, that man has charisma, but I wouldn't have said, this guy's a good actor.
Okay, clearly someone hasn't seen The Scorpion King.
That's right.
or Doom.
Okay.
Have you seen his eyebrows? Amazing.
Has anybody tried to go back and watch The Scorpion King? Because I
No.
did a
Nope.
handful of years ago, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really bad." I remembered it not being that bad, and it's pretty terrible.
The CG and everything is. I watched the Corridor Digital guys go back and do like they attempted to like fix the CG and stuff.
In Mummy Returns.
Yeah, and the Mummy Returns or whatever, not Scorpion King, right?
Yeah, Mummy Returns is where that terrible Scorpion King
sequence of him coming out of like the big doors and stuff, and he's like snapping his little claws, and he looks horrible. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's neat to watch. I like when they do that kind of thing. But yeah, that's the last like exposure I had to the Scorpion King, the character as the Rock.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy. What the fuck? He's making Fast and Furious movies now.
It's true. Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw. I have a bone to pick with that movie.
I have the biggest bone to pick with that movie.
Well, my big one is like, especially pertaining to The Rock, is it's Hobbs and Shaw and which one is he? Hobbs? Shaw?
He's
Shaw
Hobbs.
is
Shaw
Jason
is-
Statham.
Yeah.
But it
Deckard
just shows
Shaw
them
is-
like in the trailer, like, oh, we got these big baddies that are coming after us with guns. I think it's Idris Elba, right?
Yep. Black Superman.
Fucking on a goddamn, motorcycle with like guns and shit. And then it cuts to The Rock's character as like, like Samoan kind of Hawaiian character who's like taking pride in that. And they have like fucking shovels and like bats and stuff. They're like, yeah, we're going to get them. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter how many muscles you have or what kind of sharp machetes you got. You can get fucked up. Like,
his mom sold all the guns. Didn't you see that part of the trailer? She sold all the guns.
she's stupid. Keep
Roman
the guns.
Reigns is in that. That movie.
His brother. That was when he was having the injury issue, right? I believe he was out.
Yeah, he's out with leukemia.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I couldn't remember if it was cancer or if it was.
Who did?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Romy
Also-
Romes?
Romy Romes. That's what we call him.
Malik.
Yep.
Damn.
The big hog, Romy Romes.
Hog.
But Roman Reigns is the big. It's fine. So I played a little Mass Effect this week.
Did you?
Yeah, Mass Effect
Bring us
3.
back. Jesus Christ, where the fuck do we go with that?
Pull it back in. Hey, don't worry. We are still like, relatively speaking, we're super on the rails. People still play that multiplayer. Blew my mind. The game came out in like 2013. I think we figured out.
It's a good multiplayer.
It's okay. I actually 2012 it came out. Holy.
Yeah, I remember playing that multiplayer, and I don't even play the Mass Effects too much. Like I thought it was playable. It was fun.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to it that I don't remember. There's like whole totally new characters that you never play, where like you can play as a like collector, which is kind of crazy. And there are new abilities that only exist in the multiplayer. It was wild to see how many people are still playing that. Like waited, I'm gonna say 1 second to find a game. Like it seems really populated still, which is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
I
played it a lot when it first came out. I mean, it's a solid multiplayer as far as if you're looking for that experience, just fighting waves and waves of different hordes and stuff, whether it be, the Reapers or Collectors or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cerberus and stuff. Like, that's solid. It's good.
It's all right. But like,
for what it is, it's good. But yeah, it is surprising.
Does it stand by itself enough for all these? Like, there are so many good takes on that horde mode now that it just sort of blew my mind. It kind of warmed my old frozen dead heart to be like, wow, people are still fucking playing Mass Effect, huh? It's
you
awesome.
get people who have these games that they prefer the gameplay over the either more modern ones or whatever. Like just the other day I was sitting on my Xbox and I had Modern Warfare 2 installed and I was like, I wonder if anybody's really still playing that game. Popped in, team deathmatch, still going, all that stuff, no issue. It seems like people are still lag switching though, or whatever. The second the match doesn't go their way, the game just like super glitches out, and then it just the server host is gone. So they never fixed that. But and I still play Battlefield 1943 from back in the day, and that always has. That's a really fun one to play. Because that's the 16v16 multiplayer, and it's
right. It was like kind of battle. There were like 3 classes. It was like a
sniper,
sort of
engineer,
watered down Battlefield almost. That was the the $15 cheap one.
It was the digital only. It was the one that started the digital revolution because it was the first like digital only title that there was no physical copy of.
10 years ago that came out. $1,200, $15. Yeah.
I remember that game being heralded as like, is this the end of brick and mortar stores? And nowadays, like even more so, GameStop is, you know, they're trying to redefine themselves, but
they just closed a bunch of stores and laid off most of the Game Informer.
Yeah,
it's not looking so good for GameSpot. GameStop, not GameSpot.
GameStop. There's still a GameStop right around the corner from me. So I mean, I'm waiting for them to close down.
Here's
so I can
the thing:
pick up all their games.
It'll be sad if GameStop goes just because it's like the last mainstream one where you can be like, oh, I'll just go pop over to GameStop to get this physical, whatever the fuck I need. But when it's gone, they've been known for so long. It's such a shitty company.
I know.
All their employees that I've ever talked to are like, yeah, it was shit. Like I enjoyed being around games and talking to gamers and things like that. But as far as the actual job portion of it, garbage, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Every time I've been in, they're EB Games in Canada, but every time I've been in an EB Games, which
they
is
never
like,
swapped from EB Games. They were EB Games here for a long time.
I think
they
we
bought
might
up
have.
EB Games.
I was pretty young. I don't remember it ever being GameStop, not GameSpot. I think it was maybe always the Electronics Boutique here in Canada. I'm not too sure actually on that history.
Yeah.
But every time I'm in there, it's like being I don't know what the word, like power user or whatever, being a little bit informed about video games, you just hear the most outlandish shit of like, oh no, these games won't work on your Switch. You got to buy like these games, like just like lies sometimes that the person behind the till is saying to a customer. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna bite my tongue. I'm not gonna like push my glasses up and secure my foot. Actually.
Supposedly they're switching their whole focus to esports. Like they're going to make it a destination for people to come in and do tournaments and whatever. They're going to try to make it where gamers come to hang out together because that's
like
kind of been
LAN?
the vibe of the store.
Yeah. Wow.
Supposedly.
I mean, that kind of makes more sense, I guess, with current trends and stuff. Like they might have more success doing that just as a gathering place to like watch, even if it's not like just like physical tournaments that are happening in person there. Depending on how big they want to build those out, does that mean they're going to convert the stores into like game hangout areas?
No, it's still going to be a thing where they have like, because I think the idea is to bring more traffic into the store, so that way you're pushing more merchandising, like with the Funko Pops or whatever, people picking up games, or I guess just to get more foot traffic.
Oh yeah,
they have the Funko Pops.
Whenever I hear the word Funko, I think of Funko Land. Are those anyone?
They're only in America, but they're like arcades, right?
No, they were game stores.
Oh.
And they were like, if I remember correctly, their coloring of the logo was like kind of rainbowy. It was like a bunch of different colors and stuff.
Well, that's fun.
I'm gonna look it up. Funko Land.
That's fun.
I've heard the name a bunch.
Funko Land.
What's your gut reaction here? Funko Pops. No judgment. No, you know.
I like Funko Pops.
Good Funko Pop.
I have some over here. I don't really buy them myself. It's more so
I say no judgment, but I mean we're all kind of secretly.
I have a bunch. I have a lot of Batman ones. Got some. I mean, it's mainly Batman ones. I got a bunch of Batman ones, but I've only bought a handful of them myself. Oh, I have. Oh, right here, within arm's reach. I got a little Alduin. He's pretty big, actually.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. He's like a double-sized Funko Pop.
I'm kind of some of the Funko Pop stuff are cool, but I like the ones that are a little bit more like the one you just showed, like the Alduin, where it's a little different and stuff. I'm not the one where it's like, hey, they changed a couple things and it's kind of the exact same, and I'm just.
It's kind of where I'm at. We're like, I guess maybe that looks like Marcus Phoenix. Maybe that just looks like every other bald Funko Pop.
Yeah. Like, for instance, I won't get a Funko Pop like Shepherd or anything like that. I've had them before, and I was like, I'm going to throw you away because it's just...
I don't want to...
It's right after Andromeda came out. I'm like, you know what? I've had it.
In the burn barrel.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Oh, man.
You just hucked it into the incinerator in the wall.
I just clicked on the
tap
thing
one
and saw the Funko Land thing. When I was like... Gosh, I had to have been like 9 or 10. My parents took me to a Funko Land, and maybe 11. I was a little bit older, but they had a bin full of Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games. I remember just digging through. It was like Spawn. For some reason, all of them were Spawn. And I picked up Super Return of the Jedi, which I still have.
That's a hard game. That is,
it's a very hard game.
Yeah, generally regarded as one of the hardest Star Wars games.
Yeah. I beat it at some point. I remember getting real pissed at my sister who was sitting right next to me, and she didn't do anything, but I completely blamed her every single time I failed. I was like, you made me lose that.
Just get out of here.
Yeah, had a really cool speeder start to the game. Yeah, that was fun. Good game. It was very hard though.
Yeah. What games y'all been playing? I really only Mass Effect 3 for me this week. Finished it. Also, first time playing Citadel. I will say, I don't know how I never played it before. There is more dialogue in that DLC than the entire rest of the game combined, which is amazing. And it's the best dialogue. It's so, like, it is the quintessential Mass Effect, and I played it 6 years late. Alleged Mass Effect fan, Matthew Eads.
It's like me with Batman. I always feel like a fake Batman fan.
Yeah, it's like,
I'll
man,
be honest, I don't think I beat Citadel when I did play it. I think I planned to go back and I never did. Which
I'm gonna
is
say
I need to play it.
I'm gonna say some words to you. I'm gonna spoiler-free words because it came out like way after the fact. I remember was kind of why I missed it.
I played it. Like I played a good portion of it, but I definitely did not. I don't even think I halved it. Like 50%ed it.
It's really good. Like I don't want to say too much about it.
I know it's really good. I'm aware it's really good. Yeah.
It is. The first half is gameplay, which is you're playing Mass Effect, and then the last like 4 hours is just talking to your characters. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of parties.
It's one like big house party after, which is real dope.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you did beat it. I don't fucking know.
There's a real good between the two Krogan teammates that you get who both go Shepard.
Yeah.
They have like a shepherd off between them. They're like Shepard. Like they're just going back and forth. It
seems very meta.
Shit. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Shepard.
Shepard. The camera's like zooming in and out as he's saying it. It's so good.
I think I did play that because I remember that.
You should just in case you know maybe worth a replay in case you haven't.
Shepard.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, one of them he literally says like he's like Shepard,
and the camera zooms in and out. Yeah, it's so good. So finally, I played all the Mass Effect at long last. 6 years after the fact.
Very nice.
Yeah, I also played that Speaking of that multiplayer, I played that multiplayer when it was in like super early alpha at BioWare. I got called down one day before anything had textures, before any of the powers had like effects. We were all playing. I knew Mass Effect 3 had multiplayer. Before everybody else knew Mass Effect 3 had multiplayer.
Yeah.
What do you guys play? You guys play any video games?
Yeah, I play a lot of video
Maybe.
games. What have you played, Dan?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, the games I've been playing most recently has mainly been Minecraft, but Eads and I finished up Gears 3 the other day on the last Matt Day and Monday.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
A different trilogy of games. It was my first go round. It was Eads's second or probably third, probably second, because he seemed very mixed up on remembering all the other ones. But it was pretty good. I like it. Well,
it's
enough.
still like it looks very good, I think.
Yes.
Still.
Those games seem to get only more and more gorgeous. I haven't played the fourth one, and I have not touched the fifth one yet. But I'm really excited to keep moving up because they just get graphically better and better and gameplay wise smoother and smoother. And it's those are just roller coaster rides.
More emotional and more emotional.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this Mass Effect, Gears of War 3 really kind of brought in some of the emotion that the second one introduced a little bit with the Maria.
Minor spoilers for Gears 3. Dom dies.
Minor spoilers.
Minor spoilers. Did that when it happened when we were playing and Dom died? Did it do anything for you?
I mean, it had a good build up. And wait, no, do you remember?
No, it didn't. He just came out of nowhere.
So he starts to go to sacrifice himself, and they start playing the Mad World song.
That's right.
Which is just like, it's like, do you remember the marketing campaign for the first one? And then he just dies. No, the biggest jarring thing about it was it happens probably, I don't know, what'd you say, like a little over halfway, about a little under 3/4 of the way through the game.
Yeah,
and then this character, the side character, Jace, who was voiced by Michael B. Jordan at the time, before he was huge and in Black
Killmonger?
All those other things, yeah. He becomes the Dom character that you're playing as in the game. Which was, and the person who was playing as Dom, it was so jarring to me because he was barely in the game up to that point. He was like he was a side character that they talked to, but they also talked to Jack a fair bit too. And you weren't playing as Jack at any point. And they did hand it off to Anya a little bit later too. so you weren't even Jace the entire time. It was cool to playing as Anya. I like that.
I didn't even know
Jace
Jace was a
seemed kind of-
character until you took him over. We're like, oh, he's been in the game a bunch. I'm like, oh,
he was there.
Yeah,
He was there. They just kept talking to him. They didn't really show him too much, but he was around. He was along with them as much as like Dizzy and all the other characters were. It would have been amazing to play as Dizzy. But do you remember if Jace really pops up in Gears 4 or 5? Is it he just?
Oh, I have no idea for Gears 4. The Gears 4 is like 20 years later. I don't think he's in Gears 4 at all.
Well, I know Ice-T's character.
Yeah, Ice-T character.
At some point.
I don't know if he does. It's been too long.
Yeah. Did you ever play any of the Gears, Max? You ever get through that series?
Yeah, I don't remember if I left off on Gears 3 or Gears 2. I never really played a lot of the whole single player. I think I probably played through the first single player, like all the way through, maybe.
Yeah.
I never was like super crazy interested in the Gears stories. I don't know. I play like now. I would play them now for funsies.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you guys you're planning on getting all the way to 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a third slot. If you guys want, like, I'd play with that too, just for the sake of playing it, because it seemed like it's interesting enough from what I've heard from other friends and stuff that have played it. But I'm not like crazy attached to the characters and all that stuff. It'd be more like, oh shit, this is going on. Oh fuck, cool, nice.
Wouldn't he
I'm
be
more
playing
about,
as
like-
Jack if we had a third? Didn't you say it was Jack?
Jack. Yeah.
Jack. You
The
play
robot.
the thing that rips.
Oh yeah,
open
the robot.
doors.
Yeah.
Plays completely differently, apparently, from the 2 Gears or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers.
Sounds good to me. I'll be a robot.
Hell yeah.
A robot.
We can get
A
you for that.
robot. I'll be Zoidberg the entire time.
Oh, Zoidberg Jack would be amazing. Want I should open this door for you?
Just rip it. I don't think
All right,
I don't think,
I'll open the door.
Marcus and Zoidberg Jack would really get along.
Yeah, but curious to get on. We're going to skip Judgment in our road to Gears 5. Well, no,
I had to
playing
like
Judgment
I had to
after
fight. I had to
Gears
fight
5.
for it, yes. And the best I could do was we'll play it at the end.
Yes, well, it'll be the last one. Judgment, I've only heard bad things about. That it's already been pre-judgment.
Yes.
Did.
Yeah, that's right.
So I wanted to play it. I was like, we're playing every one. So, but I guess it's a prequel, so you don't even. Well, it'll just
Is
be
it
a large. Isn't it younger
like,
Colin Baird? I don't think it's a random off adventure with them. I thought it was
I totally
them.
thought it was a random off adventure. I don't really know. Everybody
Did
said
you
it was
ever play
bad, so I just out of my radar, out of my
What if we
periphery.
played it? What if we played it and we think it is the best one of them all? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Credibility just chew off
Yeah,
the
it's like,
cliff.
why did everybody say this was so bad?
It's the best one, man.
Or maybe it's amazing up till the very last stretch and then it just shits the bed and then we're just like, oh, okay.
It's just you don't. I just Baird. Like I don't know. I like Gears, I guess, but not enough to go play this weird.
What is it? Fred Tassiori is Baird, right?
Yeah, same man who plays Saren. Mass Effect.
Ah.
Small voice acting world. It turns out.
Yeah, there's a lot of those voice actors that translate to a lot of very different games, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Yes, same guy.
I'm looking at chat here for this Talking
Okay.
Reckless EX.
No,
I am.
Chad.
I am. Somebody asked, were any of you guys Crysis fans? I really like Crysis 1.
Yeah. Back then.
2 was all right. 3 made me so mad, I literally pulled, broke the disc in half.
Oh my gosh.
And through the...
I just remember those being the benchmarks for if your PC could run well or whatever, like run super beautiful games or whatever. That's
Kind of
all I
still
ever heard
is.
about those.
That first game. That first game is optimized in such a way that if you really want to put your computer through its paces, play Crysis 1.
It's
One
crazy.
day. I think I only have the second and third one.
Yeah, one was cool. I like one a
Referring
lot.
to my Steam
I
now.
like one a lot. What else have you been
didn't
playing,
actually-
Daniel?
Play it though.
Not much. Mainly, I did Twitch Sings for my birthday.
Oh, how was that?
I am just so self-conscious about my singing, and my voice gets a little shaky sometimes when I'm trying to sing. But I think I did okay. I did some crooner stuff. I did some Frank Sinatra.
I listened to all of it. It sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I can kill it with "Fly Me to the Moon," and I was pretty happy with that "Please Be True" that part. Like I hit that true very well. Not to toot my own horn. Not to
You hit
true my
the-
own horn.
You hit that true.
Yes, it was quite
Truly.
true. I performed your version of Into the Dark, even messing up at the spot where you messed up.
Yep, that's right. I
and
wrote the popular
virtual
cover of
recording.
that song. That's correct.
I tried singing Danny Boy with the oddest backtrack to the song in the world. So I didn't, it was like,
Fucking like show tunes.
Like, how do you
say,
like,
as in like the pipes are calling?
yes, and plus I did not know the words of that song until I sang it. I was like, this is a weird song. But no, the background track for some of those Twitch Sings songs are terrible. It's like knockoff versions of. I tried to sing a whole new world, and it's so like downbeat. It never builds up and has that like, and it's also the tempo's a little off, so I couldn't sing along to it.
There's nothing worse in karaoke stuff like that than a really weird backtrack or tempo that they fuck with, and you're like, why? Why did you do this? Even a shittier version at the same tempo that the song normally is at would have been great.
So they're all, I think every single song on Twitch Sings is as, or like in the style of.
Yes,
they're all covers, or I don't know how the legality works. It's got to be something with the licensing, but they're all redone by the Twitch players or whoever.
Yeah, some of them are pretty close. Some of them are really either close or licensed. Must be. Yeah. Because some of them are straight up like really, pretty much the background track. I did Bohemian Rhapsody at one point, and that one would seem pretty. It was that's a tough one to sing because there's a lot of really quick,
a lot of changes,
cuts, and it's really tough to kind of go right into the next thing. But no, I had fun doing it.
Freddie Mercury, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody. He said that he has a big mouth so can hit 2 extra octaves, which is crazy. I can't think.
I don't think it's true, actually.
No, he said something about molars in his teeth gave him room.
Something incisors. Yeah,
I should look that up. Look that up right now.
Blah, blah. I don't think that's actually true, though.
No, I
think that was some Hollywood fluff.
Let's see.
Maybe I'm wrong. It seems like it would have been something that people would look up because be like, that's fucking weird. I'm sure there's some dentists or people, like vocal coaches, like that's bullshit.
Yeah.
If it is bullshit, I don't know.
Extra tonsils. Speaking of Big Mouth, I showed Mr. Eads earlier a clip from the television show, Netflix show, Big Mouth.
I was watching that last night. Man, I was watching the new series or the new season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a dead-on Freddie Mercury impressionist.
So good.
Sounds exactly like him when he's singing. And I just showed Eads that earlier because it's just so good.
I wonder if it's that guy that they actually had work on the movie with.
I don't believe
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah. There was a guy who, like, along with Rami, like, mixed his vocals in.
Yeah, he got big on YouTube for doing like a competition or whatever, and he like sang some song of Freddie Mercury's from Queen, like perfectly like him, and it was just like, holy shit. So I wonder if he did that.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to find his name now. That Eads and I are both Googling 2 different things.
Apparently, the teeth for more range thing has never been medically proven, but the reason that Freddie Mercury did not fix his teeth was because he believed that it gave him more space in his mouth, so increased his range.
It may be.
Yeah, it's not medically documented. That's what Freddie Mercury believed, apparently. Which is fascinating.
He can believe whatever he wants to believe.
Such a great voice. Such a great voice.
Brendan McCreary was the guy from Big Mouth. He's not the same dude who did the.
Oh, okay.
He's like a music editor, apparently.
I have heard that impression though from the Brendan McCreary on Big Mouth. It is good.
It's like spot on. It's incredible.
He hits those notes where it's just like like he really gets it. It's not exactly
Carolina.
Like that, yeah, from North Carolina. So good.
Max, you play any video games? Hey, bud, nailed it. You know how this goes.
I've been playing a lot of Planet Zoo lately.
What? But that game isn't even out yet, Max.
What? Well, let me tell you something about early access.
If anyone wonders, I added that effect after in post.
Yeah, we had to wait for the reverb to go away.
Going into business for themselves.
No. You can buy the deluxe version, whatever, and then you can play it early a little bit. I don't actually know when it comes out. Sometime soon-ish.
On it.
But that game is
November the 5.
Pretty dang fun. But wow, that's actually a longer time away than I thought. Which is good though, because the follow-up is very addictive, very fun, especially scratches that itch for people who really like Planet Coaster or even Jurassic World. It's been making me want to play the Jurassic World, game. which I already kind of wanted to go back to. I like those type of simulation games where you make your park and you have to manage it and all that stuff, especially now that we're in the newer age of video games and you're able to do a lot more complex stuff.
All those games,
yeah.
all from the same developer. Planet Coaster, Jurassic World Evolution, Planet Zoo, all from Frontier
They're all from the
Developments.
same one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
did not know that.
Kind of sense. But it also makes me interested because there's some buggy shit going on in that game.
Planet Zoo?
It is
Early
beta,
access.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's early access. It's beta. It's fine enough, and there's enough of a game there where I can build my my little franchise zoo and grow it the way I want to, and it's fine. There's still a hell of a lot to do, but some stuff where it's like you have to have your mechanics and your vets and stuff like that for the animals, and just in general mechanics, research stuff. And sometimes you just click it and you're trying to have them research a thing, and it's like either it just won't register the thing until you spam it 5 goddamn times or 6 times. And then when it registers, it'll be like, oh, so I'm going to research. I'm trying to research like better barriers. And then it's like, oh, no, we're just researching the India theme for your theme park now. Like, what the fuck?
Woo!
Yeah. So it's some weird shit like that. And then also just like different pathing things where certain like keepers and employees of yours, the ones that are meant to be tending to the habitats, they'll get stuck. I literally have had a recurring thing where they're just like kind of walking to the gate of the habitat and then back to the keeper like house where they, resupply for food and stuff. And they're just doing a giant fucking conga line in a circle around. And I cannot figure out why the hell.
Non-union employees, am I right?
Yeah. And then I have to grab them and then fling them across the park to another different area to hopefully reset them. And if that doesn't work, I have to save and exit and then come back. But it's fun. Every now and then my ostriches escape and they just get through the fucking steel mesh, like 10-foot, walls. I'm like, how the fuck did you get out?
They got metal chomping beaks.
Yeah, maybe they're like.
No, they didn't even break the fence. They're just like mutants.
I always hear the
X-Men.
thing about how like deer can jump like 16 feet straight up or something. Maybe ostriches do the same thing. Maybe ostriches can fly. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
Enough.
When no one's looking, they're like a fucking hummingbird. They just take off.
Hey, Donkey Kong taught me that they only slowly ascend.
That's right.
Very slowly.
Slightly.
That's right.
Yeah, slightly.
Or descend. Is it ascend, descend?
I don't know. One goes up, one
Descend?
goes down.
Descend.
Yeah.
Descend is down. Ascend
There
is
we
up.
go. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid game. The interesting part about it is that if you want to get like exotic animals, I think any of the animals that you get, it all operates in this player controlled market, which is a good thing and also a bad thing because
like on
the prices.
Other players playing Planet Zoo are affecting your market.
In the game.
Weird.
If you want, say, if I want to get like a giraffe, if I want to get a reticulated giraffe, which are some of the more exotic and like harder to get ones, I have to go to the market animal trading thing and see which ones are available. And more often than not, there's 2 different types of currency. So you can buy, this isn't a microtransaction that I think yet. I don't know if they're going to ever do this, but right now there's regular cash that you just can use and earn from, ticket sales and whatever, just your park earning money. And you can buy animals outright for cash, but you can't release those to the wild for leafs. Now, leafs are the ones that's like your currency of like you complete challenges, which of which I don't think there are any right now in your park because it's beta. But you would complete challenges, you earn leaves. You log in for a day, you get 100 leaves. So every time you log in, you get 100 leaves. Or releasing animals to the wild. So say you bought 2 different wolves, a male and a female, and then they have a litter of litter of pups, and you grow them up. You can release those ones for leaves. So you can't like re-release something that you bought for cash. But the leaves generally, it's a currency system that you earn for doing things in game, releasing animals to the wild, and then you buy like the more sought after things like drafts and stuff. More often than not, you're going to find the more exotic animals available for like leaf currency.
Can only use leaves on the exotic ones.
Not only, it's if somebody puts up one for cash, you can buy it. But very rarely
right,
does
but it's
anyone
all
actually do
player.
that. It's all so players will jack
So
up the
weird.
price. So like a lot of times it's like, oh, I'm gonna see what I can get for a giraffe or like a hippo or whatever. And it's like, that'll be 5,000 leaves. I'm like, what the fuck? I only have like 200. So really what you have to do is you have to get some sort of species. I'm trying it with African buffaloes where they're fairly easy to get and then they breed fairly decently. So you can just kind of manufacture, the children. The children don't know that they're being really just raised for currency.
You're just releasing them though. They're gonna have a good life. They're living in the wilds.
Yes.
Really, they're the lucky ones.
Good life eats. We don't speak of where they go. No, we don't. But yeah, that's kind of one of the frustrating things. It would be nice if they countered it with like having, okay, we can see, that there's an inflated price, of like, and there's nothing towards the middle or like lower price range for these different animals. We'll inject some like lower grade versions of those animals because it like their fertility, longevity genes, immune system and stuff, they have different stats, right? So obviously one that has higher stats for all those things overall going to be more expensive. They have a higher rating. You'll see like a gold thing around them or whatever.
That's wild. So every animal has their own stats?
It is wild, Eads.
That's because a zoo.
Zoo. Yes. Stop staring at me like that.
Wilderness.
Yeah,
that's crazy though. Like that is so.
Yeah.
That is way more in depth. When you said Planet Zoo, I'm like, okay, I played Zoo Tycoon. I know how this goes. But like every animal having, even like, it was one of the stats you said like immune system.
Yes, immune like it's not as crazy. I mean, it's complex, but it's like I think it's 4 or 5. So it's like longevity gene, how long they're gonna live, immunity, size, and like some other stuff. Like just like little ratings for what you're getting, and then that based on those stats will dictate how their appeal rating will be. So like one that has kind of like stats, they might have like a 1,500 appeal rating, but one that's like really good and decent size, it'll be like 2,000 to 3,000, and that in turn will attract more people to your zoo because they're like, oh, let's go see this really fucking cool, grizzly bear or whatever.
When I go to the zoo, I want to see the bear with the good immune system. Show me that one.
That's right. That's
the one that's sneezing on everything.
That's the first thing I asked the zookeeper. I'm like, that's a pretty cool grizzly bear, but what's his immune system like?
This is the healthiest.
Yeah.
Why is that one projectile vomiting everywhere?
It's neat though. It's really cool. One of the most impressive things with the game is like being able to custom sculpt and make your habitats. So like for the bear pit that I made, like I was just gonna make an enclosure, like a regular enclosure. So I was like, you should make a bear pit like down, like dig down into the ground. I mean, we had some visual stuff that was happening right now. What the fuck that was?
Yeah, it was glitchy.
For the listener,
everything's fine. Okay. Everything's fine.
So yeah, I did that, and I just dug like fucking 8 or 10 feet down into this big pit. So all of the people that I built a path then around it, with like a tall gate and stuff, but they can look down. And then I built a path that went in over the top of the enclosure. So I had like a path where people could like walk over the bear enclosure.
Ooh.
And look down and shit. And then you can custom sculpt the landscape. So you're digging like a pond area. And then I was able to custom scape like a little land bridge over the like body of water in the thing. Put some trees and some snow and shit. It's really cool. Yeah. Really, really cool.
Have you ever played Planet Coaster?
No, I didn't.
Some of that stuff sounds pretty similar to the sculpting tools in Planet Coaster where you could kind of just do whatever the hell. You get like floating rocks. It kind of didn't matter. You kind of just do whatever you wanted.
It's just, it allows you to be imaginative. Like, I know that's nothing new as far as sculpting like landscape and stuff, but it's cool in the way they've applied it to the game because, for instance, like the grizzly bears, they need a hard shelter to be in. And you're able to like sculpt out a fucking cave and like put like rocks and stuff in there. And that will work fine as long as you put like some bedding in there. The game's smart enough to be like, there's their hard shelter. They like that. Cool. So
that seems really neat.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. I would advise checking it out eventually in the future, but
I'll be waiting for the animal black market DLC. Thank you.
The black market DLC.
We were joking though. Because I was having such issues trying to get like drafts or whatever the fuck I was trying to get. I had a viewer that was like in chat as I was streaming, like, I can go put some up right now.
Yo,
like,
dog, you want some
elephants?
You want some giraffes?
I can put them up on the cheap.
You're gonna get those people now that are like stream sniping to try to get you like just to try to get a little extra leaves in their pocket,
Yeah. Well, it helped. Now I have fucking drafts and African.
You have a giraffe connection.
Got a giraffe. You want giraffes? I can get you.
Have you vetted his source for these giraffes?
Vetted.
Listen, the giraffe coughs a lot, but he's there. The viewers don't see it. It's fine. Whatever. They're coughing so tall up into the sky, little children can't hear that. Doesn't matter.
This van pulls in front of you in the McDonald's parking lot, and the guy says, "You want to buy some giraffes?" You're like, "No." Well, maybe. How much?
It's fun. It's really, really cool.
Planet Zoo.
Planet Zoo. Yeah, I've talked a lot of it. Not too much, maybe. Too much, in fact.
Oh no, we gotta recap the games we say because sometimes I don't know if you've you've been on this podcast for like 10 minutes already. We tend to ramble. You know, we sometimes wind up in the weeds and just
Kumail Nanjiani. Anyway,
Bad character Kumail Nanjiani.
It was weird they got him to voice that giraffe in Planet Zoo too.
How many leaves?
Welcome to
Kumail
the zoo.
giraffe. I'm a giraffe with a poor immune system.
I love life here in the zoo, but my immune system is so poor.
It's okay.
It's starting to turn into a weird kind of like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
I'm gonna make orphans of his children.
Yeah, I prefer a fucking Mike Tyson voice giraffe.
Is the orc or is the
Solarian
from Andromeda?
Anything. Welcome to the space station.
Wow, Shepard, it's great to have you here.
You're coming out with a lot of disrespect, Shepard. I don't know if I want to be on your ship or not. Planet Zoo, cool.
Planet Zoo.
I don't know what else. I think it was mainly that.
Yeah, we'll open up the forums. Anybody else been playing any? I'm sure I played other Go. All right, we have said last minute addition to the notes here. Planet Zoo. Okay, great.
There we go.
Zoo.
Yeah, we'll get to that topic next.
If we have time.
Which topic? I'm not there.
Planet Zoo. I just
Zoo.
typed in Planet Zoo into the show notes.
It's its own heading now. We'll get to that in the Planet Zoo section of the show, like we do.
I may have rambled about it too much. It's really fun. I've been playing it for the last like 5 days, so or 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, it looks. I need like a nice sim to. I like to have some kind of a management sim kind of on the back burner. Something you can put a couple hours into. Maybe set up the bear pit, for example. Feel like you made progress. I need something like that.
Yeah. It's super relaxing and fun. Like if you need just a break from whatever the hell else you're playing and you need something that people be reasonably interested in, yeah, I think it's worth it.
Palette
it's also
cleanser almost,
and then it's the whole like those games are cool because it's obviously fun to just build your park, but then it's also the managing of it. Like you have to make sure your wages are paid right. You have to create work zones. You have to fucking deal with Timberwolves when they get out because your gates degraded and you didn't have your mechanic fix it in time.
So you're plopping down 800 washrooms.
Yeah.
Always more washrooms.
One of my most favorite things playing Jurassic World was just having in that fucking helicopter. They're like, do you want the computer to get it? I'm like, no, I'll shoot this bitch. That was always fun, tranking the dinosaurs and stuff.
Shooter!
It was always fun tranking the dinosaurs.
Yeah. No,
it was. It's super fun.
The trank mechanics were the best.
They were really good. Also, the fact that you can drive around in your park.
I thought of another video game I played.
What'd you play?
I played Devil May Cry. I finished Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, I saw you play a little
You ran through that.
It's not very long. It's not. It's maybe like I don't know, 10, 12 hours for one playthrough. It's okay. It's Devil May Cry. It kind of just ends. It kind of just cuts right off. I don't. Man, I don't really have much to say because I played Devil May Cry 4 and Devil May Cry 5. Lady has no nipples. I find that disturbing and unusual. And is maybe the only character without nipples as far as we know. She's the only one that you see full frontal nudity, no nipples. So that's hopefully in the DLC we find out where did those nipples go? Were they ever there? We don't know. She has one red eye, one green eye, and 0 nipples. Which
does the movie Aladdin exist with the animated version? Does that exist within the Devil May Cry universe?
As an official spokesperson for Capcom, I'm gonna and Team Ninja or whoever makes Devil May Cry, I'm gonna say yes.
All right. Well, then Aladdin is the only other character without nipples in that universe. Because
Aladdin doesn't. I never oh man.
It has one bare chest. It's just a slab
never
of
realized
flesh.
that until right now, and it's just this like this cascade.
It's a whole new world for you.
Truly is.
Don't you dare close your eyes to my nipples.
Did finish it. It's okay. I like. It feels like one of those games that when the combos are coming out, I'm not a good fighting game player, but when the combos are coming out, oh, it just feels so good, so fucking smooth. Like you are just juggling people for 1,000 hours in the air. It feels like, and it is incredible when stuff is coming out. My problem with it was there's so many different forms and moves. Like there are 3 characters you play: as Dante, V, and Nero. V is maybe the most basic and just has kind of the standard move set. Doesn't really have any he's not switching stances or anything. He has a press R to read poetry. You just read violets or pain. And Nero is a little bit more complicated, where Nero kind of has the same basic moveset but has different arms. I don't even know how many arms are in the game, but there are like, I'm gonna say like maybe 8 or 9 at the very least, and they all have a different effect and they all have different attacks. And then you get to Dante, who has 5 different melee weapons, 5 different ranged weapons, 4 different stances where all the weapons do a different thing in every stance, and like 3 different forms of Devil Trigger, and he has so many moves that it was like it felt impossible to learn them all. Where as it's switching between the characters, you're like, oh god, I'm Dante, and he has like just so many moves, and you have to level them up. You're spending experience to unlock the different combos. So by the end of that, my Dante couldn't do jack shit. He had like 1 point in everything and had 1 move for every form, and that was kind of it. But it seems like you really spend the time learning those combos. It could be really, that combat's good, and like it runs well even on the Xbox.
Yeah,
I really like it. As someone who doesn't really give a shit about Devil May Cry, I really like it.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying the 4th one's your favorite story-wise, right?
Well, the 4th one is kind of the only other one I played. I'd say DMC is my favorite, but DMC is its own weird little standalone. They
never did any more offshoots off of that one. It was just DMC.
Yeah, not yet. They haven't. DMC and then Devil May Cry 5 came out, so you never know. You might get a DMC 2 or something.
Yeah.
DMC was dope though. DMC was set in like the real world, and like one of the bosses is in all but name just Bill O'Reilly, who is like a demon who is like throwing like shout headlines at you, and it's very well done.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird game. Also, it's very anime. Very anime.
Yeah, I only played a little bit of 1 and 2 way back in the day, and it wasn't even like more than a few hours in each game because my friend had them. Growing up, just going next door and playing video games on your friend's console because you didn't have the console or the games. Played GTA, Vice City, and San Andreas at my friends' places, and Resident Evil. Like, my brother had effing college sports games. He had like college football, 2K8. It wasn't even 2K at that point. It was just 2008. I can't even remember what it was called, but terrible. And the NHL games.
NCAA football. I don't know.
NCAA. Thank you.
Is that right?
It was.
Okay.
Yep. NCAA football 2008 or something like that. So
it's in the game.
EA.
Oh, that probably.
Sports. It's in the game.
Yeah, if that was 2K, that wouldn't have been EA. Would have been 2K.
It wasn't 2K. It wasn't 2K. It was EA. Yeah.
It's funny how they all have like the same kind of thing. Which one's ours? All right, try it. See what you got. 2K. Nailed it.
It's perfect. Nope, we don't need another take. Well, that one's good enough.
Oh, okay.
They kind of don't do that anymore. Like, I can't think of any production, like, development company intro
it's all
things.
Old school stuff. Even Sega had Sega.
Yep, I was just thinking that.
They don't do jack shit anymore. I'm like thinking of all of them. It's just a logo. You're like, oh.
PlayStation had PlayStation.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
PlayStation.
Or PlayStation.
Yeah. That was mainly for marketing than the actual PlayStation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my PlayStation ever yelled PlayStation at me.
What was
PlayStation.
What was the not EA Sports one? It's in the game. I can't remember how it started though. Or no. EA Sports,
I know what you're talking about.
Challenge everything.
Challenge everything.
EA Games. Challenge everything.
I'm waiting
What
to
a
go to
weird
the
time.
theater, and it's just like Paramount.
Yeah.
Be good.
They kind of have theirs, right? You hear the Universal music. Yeah. Yeah, movies.
Has their fanfare.
Movies still do it. Video games kind of got away from it. We should go back.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Lionsgate just has the. Well, that's MGM is the line.
MGM is the line, yeah.
What do y'all think about the newer Star Wars movies? Like back in the day, going to the theater and or watching any of the home video stuff for the Star Wars, you had the 20th Century Fox fanfare, like the dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 like during the Lucasfilm logo and the 20th Century Fox logo, so you had that like kind of build up to the movie. Now it's just silence. There is no sound. It's just the Lucasfilm logo in complete silence. It says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far, far away. Then it just goes.
It's like real fast though. It's like maybe 5 or 6 seconds instead of that whole thing.
It takes its time, but it's probably not as long because it doesn't have both those logos. But it was always just like such a cool build up, and it ingrained in my brain from being a kid. I wonder if they're going to bring it back now that they own 20th Century Fox. I doubt they will because they don't want to give any credit to 20th Century Fox with the production of the Star Wars movies because they're not involved. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember the LucasArts, the gaming ones, getting like real weird with those, like right before they shuttered, like Jedi Academy. In the Jedi Academy, the LucasArts logo guy like pulls out a double-bladed lightsaber, like he flips around and shit. Like Force Unleashed, I think he lightnings the logo into place or something. They just don't make them like that anymore.
Sounds like the like DreamWorks or Pixar logo kind of deal. Just have the minions run out and like do stuff to the logo.
Oh, yeah,
Illumination.
a lamp.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember when Neversoft would have a fucking spike go through the goddamn eyeball.
Do they still do that?
I don't know.
Let's
I don't
see.
know the last Neversoft game that came out.
Also, follow-up question: is Neversoft still around?
I don't think so. Maybe they're
Defunct?
producing
No,
local games.
defunct 2014.
Oh,
Merged with and into Infinity Ward. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Let's see.
Still, to 2014, that's still a long time for them. They went
like-
for a very long time.
Let's see. The last game, Call of Duty Ghosts. Last game with a Neversoft billing on it.
Ooh,
Huh.
Neversoft killer right there. Yeah, I don't remember Ghosts at all. Like I remember it came out, but I was
forgot
just
that was the thing until you just said it. I was
yeah.
like, oh,
It's the
shit,
point
yeah,
where
that
it was
easy.
just like they were putting out too many Call of Duties.
This is every year. That was 2013's Call of Duty. I skipped
Yep.
quite a few there.
I wonder how many games there are that did come out. Where when they came out, you're like, oh yeah, I totally know that. It's like it was a big title, but at least of a big franchise.
Yeah.
And then it flopped hard, and we all just completely forgot about it.
you remember when-
Battlefield 5.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you remember Assassin's Creed Rogue came out the same day as Unity? They
Same
had the
day.
next gen and previous gen.
No, not
Assassin's
Unity.
Creed.
Rogue is the
maybe it was
Black
for-
Flag, right? Because it was both pirates, right? Is it? I think it was Black Flag and Rogue.
Black Flag. Yeah, I think you're right because I remember you and pretty sure OJ was talking about that.
Let's see.
OJ was playing
I'll
Rogue.
verify that.
Because I'm pretty sure it was next gen and previous gen ones were coming out same day. And
It was.
Unity
It totally
the
was.
first next gen.
Yeah.
No,
thought that's what
Rogue.
it
Black
was. I
Flag
thought
was the first
Rogue.
next gen. Black Flag straddled the. Black Flag was 2013. Straddled the.
Yeah, I thought Rogue was like the last gen. Like it was available on a shittier console or whatever the fuck it was. Like,
Assassin's Creed Rogue came out in 2014. Available PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and then eventually came to the new consoles.
Mhm.
Black Flag. I'm guaranteed Black Flag was 2013. October 29, 2013. Unity
So I'm-
would have
I'm
been
right.
after. No,
Unity
Unity.
was 2014 as well.
You are right then. You're right.
Well, I know because we were
Yeah.
doing activations with Ubisoft at the time, and I remember thinking like they've been producing so
Activations.
yeah. Well, I like
Sorry.
and so we were
We're
like,
creating
yeah,
FOMO.
it just got to the point where they were making so many Assassin's Creed games, and I'm like, there's two coming out the same day. That's kind of, and I only heard good things about Rogue. And yet that kind of got overshadowed because Unity was the big shiny new one that
Mhm.
was like next gen and all that jazz. But
Unity
kinda
was
got-
so broken they gave folks 2
Yeah.
games from the catalog. I remember. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
totally right.
yeah.
November
Yeah.
2014. In my head, I think I have it mixed up because they're both they're all about the ship combat. Black Flag and Rogue are all about that the ship combat. And then they kind of got away from
Which
that.
was Unity.
Unity.
One in London.
that was
France.
the French
Oh,
Revolution.
French one.
It was like
Yeah.
guillotines and
That
Marie
was the one.
Antoinette.
Yeah,
and-
that was the one I played, and it was actually pretty fun when I played it. And then it came out, and it was fucking garbage.
It was
And I
really
remember
broken.
making a
Very
video of it
glitchy.
too.
Yeah.
And everybody just backlashed like crazy. I'm like, listen, what I played was good. I don't know what
Was
the
it-
fuck they did.
It was also co-op, which was neat. It was the only co-op Assassin's Creed, I think, to date.
Yeah. God.
Too
you're
bad,
reminding me
eh?
of that now.
Missed her by that much.
Yeah. Mm. You know, I never played Black Flag.
Oh, it's so good. It's my favorite one.
I need to go back and play it. I played it, but I didn't beat it. Like I didn't play enough of it to go through all of it.
Yeah.
And I still, in my mind, kind of have an idea to just go back and I don't know if I'll start from the very beginning, but maybe just go back and do some of the ones that were worthy of going back to.
You should do
Yeah,
Black
I
Flag.
want to go through them all.
Black Flag
That's
was a good
one of my goals.
I enjoyed Odyssey recently. I didn't beat it
Odyssey
again
was
because
alright.
it's very big, but I had
Origins-
fun when I played it.
Origins was really good.
I've heard good
Yeah.
things about that one too. Yeah.
They're kind of
So many
there's
Assassin's Creed
yeah
games. Good
there's
God,
highs and
those things.
lows. Like 3 is a real. I've played every Assassin's Creed game except for Unity. I think except for Unity. 3 is real rough. 3 is. I know a lot of people for whatever reason really like 3, and I honestly can't understand it. 3 is, dear lord. Hard to get through, shall we say.
I left off on Brotherhood.
Oh, Brotherhood's really
like
good.
2.5.
Yeah, Brotherhood was like one of my faves.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Highs and lows.
How many?
2 was great. I remember 2 being really great. I remember 1
I'm gonna
being,
guess that there are
times.
11 Assassin's Creeds. That's my guess.
Okay.
Maybe even count.
Let's see.
I will say
order of
12.
release.
I'm just playing
So,
Price is Right.
Shit, I think I undersold. Well, Price is Right rules, then I'm good on 11, hopefully.
9,
Well,
10,
12. If it's any
12,
higher,
13,
then I'm closest.
14.
One Assassin's Creed, Bob.
14 of them.
14! Does that
Assassin's
include the
Creed.
mobiles, though? Does that include India,
14
China,
team?
and Russia? Because those kind of don't count.
I don't think it has it on here. No, I'm just gonna say the ones that they have in order of release. Assassin's Creed 2007, Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles 2008,
Oh,
Assassin's
that's
Creed
kind of
Bloodlines 2009.
Was that a
Assassin's
mobile
Creed-
game?
Yeah, those aren't.
Yes, yes.
Those are both mobile, I think.
Okay, so subtract 2, then it would be 12.
Yeah!
Unless there's some other ones that are mobile. that I
We'll
haven't
subtract.
There
one
would
more,
be.
don't
There
worry.
are the ones, yeah.
Then in 2009, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood 2010, Assassin's Creed Revelations 2011, Assassin's Creed 3 2012, Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. So there you go.
Yeah, Liberation was
2012, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag 2013, Assassin's Creed Rogue 2014, Assassin's Creed Unity 2014 as well. There you go. We were just talking about that. Assassin's Creed Syndicate 2015, Assassin's Creed Origins 2017, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey 2018.
12. Even with all our subtractions, Daniel nailed it at 12.
Look at you.
Oh,
That's
I
a lot
nailed
of
it.
Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, that is quite a lot.
That's like a Call of Duty amount of video games almost.
That might be more than Call of Duty.
No. No.
Well, I always forget like the first 4.
Call of
there was-
Duty, United Offensive, Finest Hour, Big Red
Big Red
1.
1.
Okay, so Big Red 1 is only the PC port of 2, so maybe we don't count 2 separately.
Mm.
I played
Let's
Big
say
Red
we
1.
don't.
That's
3, Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do we count Modern Warfare Remastered? Probably. World War 2, Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare,
There's a lot
and
of CODs.
and there's the newly released Call of Duty Mobile. So there's 14 if we don't count mobile.
People were saying the Call of Duty mobile actually isn't bad.
Yeah, I've actually heard good things about it
I'm
as well.
always wary when anyone says any mobile game is good because I'm just like,
It's still not going to get me to play a mobile game. Like I just don't play
Wait,
mobile
you
games so
guys
much.
just,
Not so interested. My
maybe
phone
you
dies
guys-
so quick already.
It's just
any of you
another.
guys try. Hold on. Keep talking.
It's just
wait for the
another mobile. Just another platform, Daniel. You know, sometimes you play games on the
Oh, for sure. I
PlayStation.
just don't-
Sometimes you play them on the phone.
I used back in like 2012. I was super into mobile games, and like on occasion I've gotten bitten by the mobile game bug. But for the most part, you know, I kind of got over playing Angry Birds on my phone and tablet or whatever. Like I don't really play.
Well, there's a
Mobile
lot
games
more than
anymore.
Angry Birds on your phone. There's
That's pretty
Mario
much
Kart
it.
Tour.
Oh no! Boo! Put it away!
A lot of these Nintendo
Stop
games coming out nowadays.
Stop
just
it!
do
No,
not-
I don't want to play
Do
Mario.
some kart racing on your phone.
Okay, this podcast is gonna get claimed because of the music. It's still really bad about all
Don't
that
worry,
stuff now.
it's a fucking lawless Wild West on the internet.
I've
We can
only-
play whatever we want.
I've only done like a few races. It seems, you know what? I think it's good
Fun.
enough where if I'm really truly bored, like
I thought you were about to say really, really drunk. It
Yeah,
could
that's
then
right.
that would
be
work
pretty good.
too.
So
That'd work too.
drunk.
I'd be more enraged at the fact that I'm just losing even harder because of just being inebriated. But I was hopeful that it would be better. Maybe they'll tighten up the controls and stuff better. The controls are a little weird. I know they tried to simplify it a lot so that way, you know, it's mobile controls, but it would be better if it was.
They call it. I haven't played any of. I played like one race. Actually, that's not true. I played one race to see what the controls were. I'm like, okay, great. They call it free to start. Do you know what the? Are you paying for like racers? Or are you paying for? That's
I
weird.
think
That's a
so.
Coke out of a glass bottle. Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy.
The
Wow.
Mexican Coke.
The real deal. Oh, is that with different sugar or
Giant-
something, right?
Yeah, real deal Holyfield.
I'm drinking Blue Caps Cola.
Unlabeled, mysterious brown beverage up top.
I'll put that side of it.
Or Pepsi.
No, it's not. It's Pepsi.
I wish it was
Completely
Pepsi
derailed
Cola.
us. I
Cola?
apologize. Holy
You got
People
yourself
shit
some
on our-
RC Coley?
People shit on RC Cola, but Royal Crown Cola is fine by me, and people
Royal
who shit on
Crown,
it
it's
can
fine.
go.
I think
You don't
I-
like Royal Crown?
No.
Well, everybody
wrong
says
with
it's
you?
like cheap
To be
crap. Typically,
to be
what I've
fair,
heard.
I bought it once to mix with Crown Royal because Royal Crown and Crown Royal is
course.
Perfect. And thought it was worse than just a Crown and Coke, honestly.
Oh no!
We'll mix this
Coke
fine
and
Crown
Pepsi,
Royal with this RC shit.
Coke is better.
And RC, like they're all different. Like Coke is a better mixed drink.
Yes.
Pepsi's a little bit sweeter. I couldn't tell. It's been a while since I've had Royal Crown or RC Cola, so I can't even remember what it tastes like. But I've never disliked it.
I didn't know that I disliked it. If we have to pick I have to turn my nose up and be a cola snob. RC Cola, like, come on, man. There's a reason it only costs 25 cents. There's a reason.
Listen, I will say RC Cola is decent. It's better than the treatment it gets. All right, I think it's a fine soda. I think
the PBR of colas. It's a way worse route.
Around, all right. It's a soda that is not trying to take over the small businesses in this here little town. All right.
It's a good point.
Look, we can all agree that Royal Crown Cola is Pepsi that sat in the sun for too long and was sold off on at the side of the warehouse. Okay, but
that doesn't mean it doesn't have a place, Daniel.
Yeah.
All right.
In the marketplace.
Yeah.
I'm a Coke Zero man. Everything.
You couldn't see the audio listener couldn't see I was doing the political, not pointing, but kind of a fist with the thumb right over the top.
Oh, there. I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah.
A little gag for the live viewers this week.
That's right.
Well, Planet Zoo.
Planet Zoo.
All right.
To bring it back.
No. Not to bring it back. I'm ending the topic. I think we end every single topic with Planet Zoo.
Right. That concludes.
Planet Zoo. What the fuck were we talking about?
On to the real news of the week. Planet Zoo.
Assassin's Creed. We're talking
Assassin's
about
Creed, yeah.
How did we get to Assassin's Creed, though?
And you were drinking your Mexican Coke.
Mexican Coke. Yeah, that's where we
sometimes we... it's hard to follow back, because how do we... there's a missing step there still.
Coke is definitely the better mixer for your alcoholic stuff, like rum and
for sure
whiskey and shit like that. Way better. Planet Zoo.
Planet Zoo. Y'all play any other games? Any other games anyone wants to bring up here? The first half of the...
You guys play that Goose Game? Untitled Goose Game?
No.
I've only seen people on social media talk about it.
It's kind of fun.
Oh boy, I have a real confession to make on this podcast. Before that, it's kind of the Rick and Morty thing of everybody's like, this game is Goose Game, you gotta try to get. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
I'm turning Eads around because Eads was one of my friends who always spoke against Rick and Morty because
I hate Pickle Rick. I was gonna up and say
so
it.
popular.
Fuck Pickle Rick. I don't even know what that means, but I hate him.
Eads and I have been going through Rick and Morty. We've watched the first 5 or 6 episodes at this point.
I watched like the first 6.
I've turned the man around on Rick and Morty.
It's a good show.
Yeah, that show's pretty good. That show's how it is.
I get it though. I 100% get, like, from the outside. If you haven't watched it, everybody's like, Pickle Rick, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
Look at this pickle. He's a fucking pickle.
Oh, look, this guy's standing on the counter of a McDonald's screaming, I'm Pickle Rick at the employees, and then fucking throwing sweet and sour sauce everywhere.
Oh, no, the fans are an idiot. They're idiots.
Yeah.
Like,
the fans ruin the show a lot of the point. But it doesn't make it not a good show. And I've shown Eads the light to that, and luckily...
It's actually, like,
coming around.
A real banger of a show. I'm kind of way into it.
Show, yeah. I'd watch some shows with you guys.
Hell yeah. Hey, we're like... turning the clock back 10 years where we all do that thing. We're like, we're gonna watch this show. Okay, everyone start the episode in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Totally. Let's fucking watch some Rick and Morty or something this week.
Yeah.
I mean, in my defense, I knew I'd never tried the show. I just knew the fan base really.
Yeah.
Also, the Pickle Rick episode might come up and I'd be like, you know what? I don't know.
It's one of the best episodes.
Okay.
It's a pretty good episode.
Good episode.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good episode. If you get past the whole, like, when you watch it, just be like, okay, this is the Pickle Rick episode. But then just watch it for what it is.
Know what I'm getting into.
You know, watching the show that the show itself doesn't take much seriously. Like at the beginning, he's kind of like, hey, it's my thing now, and Pickle Morty. Like you know how they treat it. It's just the people who watch the show are idiotic about it. Like the whole Szechuan sauce thing. Like that.
I don't even know what that means. I think I said sweet and sour, but meant to say Szechuan.
Yeah, no, it is the Szechuan sauce where they got McDonald's to bring the Szechuan sauce, which was a promotional thing for the movie Mulan. In the 90s or whenever that movie came out. I think like 90s.
Oh.
And so they like Rick is talking about how he like wants Szechuan sauce to come back, and so McDonald's made a special batch, sent it to the Rick and Morty dudes, and then the fans like demanded that the Szechuan sauce be released into real McDonald's. And so they did it in limited portions and quantities to select McDonald's. And throughout the country, like these rabid Rick and Morty fans showed up to McDonald's demanding Szechuan sauce, which most only had a limited amount and ran out real quick. And then they started like rioting and trashing McDonald's. That's probably what you saw that clip of.
That's exactly what I saw. Yeah.
And it completely just like, that's the stuff that is annoying and eye rolly about the Rick and Morty fan base.
And that all just started from either Dan Harmon, like one of the lead creators of the show and writers, or Justin Roiland. Either one of them probably just were like, hey, I'm going to make this reference to way back when, to this really good sauce that I used to eat at McDonald's. And it's like just kind of this deep cut reference, and it'll be kind of funny and out of place. And people will be like, haha, I remember that too. And then it turned into this fucking thing, you know? So just watch the show for what it is. It's good. You can see. You're 6 episodes in. You know what the show has to offer.
Yeah, I'm in for the long haul. It's
still good.
It's sharply written. Somebody in chat says their favorite episode is the Scary Terry episode. We just watched that one. That's one of my favorite episodes so far.
Yeah, that was the one I laughed the most at, because when I first started watching that show was around when I started smoking weed, because it was legal in Colorado. Right. And I don't remember much of the first season, and I'm realizing now how hilarious that episode was. I was losing my shit when we were watching that the other day.
Watching with Dan is very funny. He's like, man, I must have been baked. I don't remember this at all. That'll get you like that.
Though. Yeah, we're getting to ones I start remembering because I started, leveling out with my highness.
I started to sober up a little bit around season 3. I don't know.
Oh, no, I did not, but I got used to it.
How's everybody feeling? You guys need a restroom break? We do usually take a break in the middle because we have very small bladders in real life.
I'll take a potty break.
Yeah, a little bathroom break here. Fill drinks. You at home, if you're watching live, maybe grab a little stretch.
We're gonna put on the Planet Zoo medley to play during the break.
That's right.
It's just us saying it's like Big Boys Don't Cry, but it's Planet Zoo, Planet Zoo, Planet Zoo. What was I going to say? Oh, we do have an email section, a listener question thread at the end of the show. I haven't pulled any because nobody knew Max and Dan were going to be on. So if you at home have a question, an email, thought, a quandary to be solved by, save it up. Start thinking about it for the end of the show. So we'll take those live as well. All right, let's take a break. We'll see you in a second. I'll hit us with the BRB screen on our stream.
I keep doing this.
It's like
like this.
No, it's like a wolf. It's like a wolf head. Yeah. It's like the rock fingers, but you just kind of.
I'm trying to make. There's a bunny rabbit. There's a bunny rabbit right there.
There's a bunny rabbit. I'll hit us with the BRB screen. We'll be back in just a minute. Oh, it's running slow.
Oh, it's getting gidgety too.
Hi there, Larry. Oh, this computer is barely fucking holding it together on this side.
It must have been though, like all the rigmarole with the processing on the thing. Oh yeah.
Come on, buddy. Come on, right buddy. Now. You can do it. I hit the wrong screen there. That was a little bit my bad.
I think it was because the it doesn't like the.
It's all the web. My this PC is usually just the stream PC, but we're doing everything on the stream PC today.
Oh my!
Is part of the problem. It's hanging in there. It's hanging in there.
Yeah, my stream PC shat the bed. Hence why I just use the gaming PC as.
What shat that? We could fix that. We could troubleshoot. We could fix that. Probably one piece.
I fixed the CPU. That was not the issue. Or the heatsink on the CPU or whatever. I replaced the power supply, and then I can't remember specifically what the issue is. I could probably pull it up and hook it up at some point. We can try to troubleshoot.
We could get that thing working. Oh, there's DanzNewz has a DanzNewz thing. GassyMexican has a GassyMexic thing.
GassyMexic mask.
Anything.
Looks like a Deadpool mask or something.
Yeah, I can't see with the focus.
There we go. Now I have the full-on branding in the shot.
Hell yeah. Permission to post link? You can email it or whisper it to me, I mean. Here's the link topic for stream. Oh, Skyblivion. What do y'all know about Skyblivion?
This part isn't being recorded, right?
No, this will be the break. Yeah, we cut the break.
Oh.
We are live, obviously, though.
It's lovely seeing everybody in the chat, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in.
It's a little too far over that way, and I have the show notes pulled up, so I could probably pop out the chat.
We kind of this podcast is a little bit different, so don't feel too bad. But we usually kind of don't look at the chat because this is a podcast that goes out to iTunes and Spotify and Google Play and all that, right? And where we get most of our listening. That's right. This is the Talking Reckless podcast, by the way. If you've never joined us, we've been going 11 years strong. There was once upon a time Max and Dan were on this podcast, which I totally forgot because who remembers what
I was on the Angsty podcast, which I could not find on my computer. I could have sworn I had it somewhere.
I have them all, so if I can comb through them and I can find them for sure.
Yeah.
Max though is on the Manatank podcast. Manatank, yeah, we were Angsty, and then we were Manatank, and then we were Virtual Flicks, or maybe we were Virtual Flicks, and then we were Manatank.
That's what it was. It was the Virtual Flicks podcast, not the Angsty podcast.
Gamer guy, I was in there. I was at some point.
We don't talk about that one, even though it is one of the plaques on the Undisputed Championship. Is GG for Gamer Guy.
Yeah. Was I the only one who ever did a video review for Manatank? Like, or did you guys eventually do more of those? Because I did Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
I remember that. I remember that review being, I feel like, a month and a half late or something. I feel like I had to get on someone to be like, can you talk to Dan to get that thing
in? We got an early code, and I had 3 days.
It was real short. I remember it was real short, and it was real tight.
Yeah. I don't remember being super late on it.
Maybe
it might have come out like a week after I got the code. I don't remember it taking too long.
That's probably. Yeah, you did do.
Being very proud of that.
It was a great review. I think it might have been. It was not the only video review. It was one of the few, though. We were more about what the fuck did we call them?
Written reviews and
press
stuff?
Starts? No, just like video. Like here's the first hour of the game. We're just like bullshitting, checking out the first hour. I think we called them press starts or something. I don't remember now.
Yeah.
Cold Nova, you've been looking for a new office gaming chair. Any recommendations? Depends how much you want to spend. I bought this chair for 550 Canadian dollars.
That chair?
From I'd have to look at from Ergo Master or something. The best chair I've ever bought. Oh my god, it's incredible. Oh my god. I sit on it 12 hours a day, every fucking day.
I need to get a new chair. This chair has been okay for a bit, but I can get better ones.
Yeah, I find you like
$100 at Office Depot.
That's what I used to do. I think I have that exact one actually, almost. That big black leather one. I would always buy the $100 like leather ones, but I find like after 2 or 3 years, like they're just so like the armrests rattle and like stay up.
They start to like scratch your arms because the fake leather is flecking off.
Yeah, pleather. Ready to come back into the old podcast here, Beans? Talk about some news?
I refuse.
Okay. Well, Max and I are going to come back and talk about the news of the week, the biggest news.
Oh yeah.
Planet Zoo, gentlemen.
Planet Zoo.
Frontier Developments. The real biggest news of the week. Sony. Have you seen them? You heard about them? They've opened up cross-platform to all developers. Finally, at long last. Sony was kind of the last holdout in the cross-play war because they're leading. They are leaps and bounds ahead this generation compared to Xbox One, so it makes sense. You know, they don't want to play nice. But apparently in a Wired interview, they mentioned that their focus for the next PlayStation is they're going to be PlayStation Now, which is their equivalent of Game Pass, which got like a price cut to $10. And I want to say I'm going to look up actually what came to it. And also want to focus on cross-platform.
Recently.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up right now. I think like maybe the first party stuff. I want to say like God of War would have just got added to it. Like the good first party games that you would maybe consider subscribing for. Yes, GTA 5, God of War, and more blockbuster games according to the PlayStation blog.
Yeah, they're trying to catch up to the Game Pass deal pretty much, and they are not guaranteeing that these games are going to be on there forever. It's just for now they're
just like Game Pass. Things rotate.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those are developers that Microsoft bought up, or you know, a lot of those ones are probably going to stick around, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You guys doing the Game Pass for $1 or whatever it is?
I'm doing the PC one. I'm not doing the. You keep talking about that, and I really do need to swap it over, but to where I'm getting the console, and because I did the Game Pass on the console when that first was introduced, because I wanted to play Elder Scrolls Online, but then downloaded it and played it once, and I was like, okay.
Is this for Sony or what is this?
We were just talking about Game Pass, but
the Game Pass is the Xbox, the Microsoft one.
Yeah, okay, so the Xbox, that's what was confusing me. Yeah, I think I have that, but I haven't done anything with it.
It's also on PC, so it's like Windows 10, and they have a shared catalog.
Console companion, whatever the fuck they call it, right?
Isn't that what it is? The console.
It's just called for that more.
It's just called Xbox Beta. The console companion is like your Xbox Live stuff.
Oh, okay.
Xbox Beta app on Windows 10.
Xbox Beta app. Oh, let me look it up.
That's where I played Devil May Cry. Was on the Game Pass. It's
Sea of Thieves when we were playing that. Speaking of crossplay,
that's where I got that too. Yeah.
I don't even know how to get the Xbox Beta. I just have Xbox Console Companion.
Oh, it's just an app.
If you just search Xbox on the
Xbox Game Bar.
Or like Xbox Game Pass app or something.
Do I have to go to the Microsoft Store and then get the Xbox Game app or whatever the fuck?
I usually just click my start bar and type in Xbox, and it should be like the first thing that comes up.
Apparently.
Yeah, I don't honestly remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that. Although I've wanted to, because of a lot of the stuff that you guys talk about here on the podcast. Fucking, what is it, Warren? He was talking about the Disneyland, whatever thing that he got off.
Disneyland Adventures, I think.
Yeah, where you can go to Disneyland and wait in lines, and you have to like. It's like very much a children's game, apparently. Yeah, but it's like apparently pretty 1-to-1 to Disneyland. And
wow.
I'm like, I'd fuck around with that on a stream. Like that'd be kind of funny.
Park
simulator.
So the way that it has worked up till now is if you have Xbox Live, you can upgrade your Xbox Live subscription to a Game Pass one for $1, up to 3 years. The only downside to that is you're sort of saying that next gen, within the next 3 years, the Xbox will be my primary console. With new consoles on the horizon next year, that is maybe a little bit crazy, but it's still it's good value if you think you're gonna stick with the Xbox.
Up till 3 years. After 3 years, they just stop allowing you to play that shit on your PC.
Well, I assume you would have to pay like $15 a month or whatever it will cost, but it's $1 for 3 years.
If that was the actual case.
And it's cool that PlayStation Now is catching up because like as someone who doesn't just buy every video game anymore,
right,
it would be so dope to like. I'm trying to think of the other. What is there's a missing Sony first party game from this list. What else did Sony release this year? God of War,
Spider-Man.
Thank you. Yeah. Like if they get Spider-Man, they get all the first party stuff. Like Microsoft. Microsoft guarantees that their first party stuff will be day one on Game Pass.
Yeah.
If they could do that with the Sony stuff, like, man, there's kind of no reasons to just buy games anymore. It doesn't feel like.
It seems like the gaming industry is going the way of like the movie and the television industry, where everything's going to be subscription based, and they're just looking to get that $5 to $10 out of you per month, and that's kind of the way things are going, as opposed to people plopping down, $60 or for a Blu-ray, $20, $25, $30, whatever it is now with the 4K Blu-rays and all that stuff. They're kind of looking to be like, oh, we're building a library. If you want access to this library, pay us this, and we'll give it to you. As opposed to selling the stuff. Whoop.
All fine and dandy until the apocalypse happens or something happens where it knocks out our ability to fucking have internet and maybe electricity will.
Well, I mean, hey, look back here. I'm preparing. I got my movies until the end. That's Dan Flicks back there.
DVDs only last about 25 years.
Yeah,
disc rot is a real thing.
Oh yeah,
disc rot. Mm-hmm. Even in its cases,
even in its cases.
But still, 25 years is quite a long time.
It's true. I wonder. I don't think I have any discs that have been. I have a floppy disk from 1994. It's still good. It's still good.
It might totally be. It's a little airborne. I sort of think of it like earthquake insurance, where like if the internet ever goes away, we are probably going to be worried about a lot more than our video games we can't play.
True.
Well, you think that.
But that's our lives.
I hope so. You're not wrong.
No. I'm not even talking about just video games. I'm talking about entertainment in general. That's why, like, if it ever comes to an apocalypse scenario where nobody is connected to the internet and all of their entertainment that they usually get piped into their TV via the internet is gone, Dan becomes king.
Yeah, I was just imagining me on a throne with like a bunch of furs and stuff, and you guys are coming over. And I'm like, come on in.
You can have Weekend at Bernie's
spare DVD, Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's one of the things is like all three of us have been just cramming ourselves with all this entertainment so we can then just play it back in our brains or perform it to the next generation.
That's true.
Yes, that's right.
Perform all of the Simpsons in its entirety up to the first, 10 seasons or so.
Like that
We
in Rick and
totally
Morty.
could. Like, you say that jokingly. I bet between the three of us, we could recreate the first, I want to say like 15 seasons, word for word,
Yeah.
joke for joke.
There's some good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, when the big one comes, people are gonna want to get a hold of us. I'll tell you that.
Then our true calling, the reason our brains are wired the way they are with this stupid fucking like encyclopedia, like being able to call up moments from Simpsons episode, whatever the fuck that no one ever cared about.
Yeah.
Cannot remember the date of my own father's birthday. Have to look it up every year. But can quote the entirety of The Simpsons to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when the apocalypse happens, we all meet up in the middle because I guess Max is in Texas. I'm in North Carolina. We'll all meet up around Colorado or so.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Springfield, Colorado or somewhere, wherever it is in between. And we'll do the traveling Simpsons Roadshow.
That's right.
That's our Marge.
Marge,
There's a little taste there for you.
Yeah.
So Sony has opened up cross-platform. Super dope. In the Modern Warfare beta is totally cross-platform and matches you based on whatever you're using, controller or mouse and keyboard. And it worked really well in that Modern Warfare beta in a way that like all video games should maybe just do that.
Do that, right? Yeah, it's high time that they start fucking doing that. It's something that, like, I think you mentioned it before in the previous podcast. It's overdue. Like, this shit should have happened forever ago, but for some reason, devs and stuff, and also because of the whole like cross-platform being still weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the development of games is a little strange when it comes to switching between the different platforms and all that stuff. And there hasn't really been that infrastructure to actually help it integrate easily for the developers in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the companies seem to be playing a little bit more. Now this is this platform or cross-platform just between PC and the PlayStation, or is this cross-platform between like Xbox and PlayStation? Okay,
Everything,
yeah.
If you believe the reports, it's between Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile, and Stadia, which is pretty interesting.
And
What about Switch?
They did not specifically call out the Switch, so I don't actually know. That's a very good point.
To be a bit of the ugly stepchild of, when it comes to the console releases for non-first party titles. I mean, they do have more third party titles than a lot of the other previous
They put
generations
a lot of stuff on
of
Switch, yeah.
but it takes a while usually. It's just like the Wii.
It does take a while,
development
yeah.
cycle, where it's like the last console to come out on is the Switch.
Its big thing is like, oh shit, I can play this game on the go, like truly on the go. You know what I mean? And it doesn't like run like complete garbage. That's like the allure of the Switch for third party stuff that's not their own IP.
I refuse to pay $60 for Skyrim again. I've done it 5 times. I'm not doing it again.
Come on, you coward. What's one more time?
I want it so bad. I want it so bad on the Switch, but
I gotta tell you, it's pretty cool to play Skyrim on a flight or whatever you're doing. Pretty cool.
Also, it might run like total fucking shit, but
it might, but it's still Skyrim.
Too many cheese wheels on screen.
It ran pretty good when I played it, but then again, I didn't play it enough to the point where like, it was like crazy. Like again, I wasn't in a room full of cheese wheels, so who knows how it runs then.
What do you even do? You're playing Skyrim and you weren't in a room full of cheese wheels? Like,
you weren't in the hunting room eatery then.
Are we talking about the right game even?
Yeah. You just reminded me. I got to get back to my Skyrim modded playthrough on PC.
Yeah.
So
do
do
it.
I actually my
Cicero?
roleplay playthrough. Cicero Skyrim or is Cicero Blue?
Skyrim, yeah.
No, sweet
I
roll.
remember because when I initially did my original playthrough, I worked with the Dark Brotherhood. One of the last playthroughs I did, I just took them out instantly and I killed them all. And I was like, that's it. They're dead.
Damn.
It's been long enough since I played Skyrim that in our current playthrough, I do not. Apparently, you don't just kill someone. You should just murder someone, and the Dark Brother would be like, "We know what you did." Not how it goes anymore. And I do not. No spoilers. I do not remember how to activate the Dark Brotherhood, and I kind of love that actually. That there's enough that I've forgotten about that game. They're like, I'm sure they're in here.
You don't want to know?
Nope, no spoilers. Because I
how do you not know? It's the same way every single time. I
It's the same way.
No, you don't just murder someone in Skyrim. It's different.
I hear there's a boy who's practicing dark magic.
I don't even. What's this, Harry Potter? I don't even know what you're quoting me, right? You used to just kill someone, an innocent person, and then you would get a note with a handprint, and it would say, "We know what you did." And you're like, "Oh fucking shit!"
You're misremembering.
How it went.
Is that not how it went?
Start talking to.
If you go on, you'll never find the Dark Brotherhood.
How did you do it in Oblivion? How did you find the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion?
Oh yeah,
I don't play Oblivion.
Neither did I.
You never played Oblivion? Oh shit!
Start talking to any barkeep within Skyrim and just ask them if they have any tasks.
Never worked a day in your life for that coin. And like, fucking excuse me, who is this? Why is everyone so shit? Is it because I'm Khajiit?
Yeah.
I want to say, do you even want to know the
You can just tell me. Just how do I find the goddamn
Arturus Satino or Artino or
Arturus, yeah. So there's a boy in like Windhelm or something like that. The cold one. The one that's like all where the mage college is. You'll find it. You just wander around there and you'll hear an NPC be like, oh, Arturus Satino, whatever the fuck his name. Andrew Santini?
Andrew Santino. Is practicing dark magic.
Oh fuck. Oh.
Yeah.
Is that how it went in? Okay, can someone sanity check me for every Dark Brotherhood previous, you would just kill an innocent and they would send you a note.
Yeah.
I think. I am 99% sure that's how it went in Oblivion, because Lucian LeChance.
Yeah, in previous
your
games,
boy.
that's how it went, but
Lucian LeChance, you motherfucker.
I could not get into the previous Elder Scrolls games. I tried, but then Skyrim came out and I was like, okay, this is my last shot, and I loved it. So I bet I would enjoy going back, but
Paper Crane wrote this in chat. This is a fascinating thought. The problem with subscriptions, we're talking about PlayStation Now and Game Pass. The problem with subscriptions is that you lose the power to, quote, vote with your dollar on individual games.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to make after they have your money? Kind of the same as pre-order. That is super interesting. I am avidly, and have been for years, against pre-ordering video games. Never really thought about it like that. You totally are not voting with your dollar at all.
We live in the age of social media, though, where if there's something that people don't like, they are not shy about voicing it online, or even then you could still check play numbers. I mean, obviously Xbox isn't releasing like, oh, this game was played this many times by people who were subscribing with whatever, but I think you are still going to get people who are going to speak out about the games they don't like and speak up about the games that they do like.
Totally.
On social media.
It's very different, though, than voting with. That's very different than, like, a game selling well and people being like, we don't like this about this game, is very different than people not buying a game.
It's true.
I think about that a lot. The reason I am, like, buying Modern Warfare is because I really want to vote with my dollar in favor of that cross-platform stuff. It is so amazing how it just works.
I enjoyed it. Playing the beta.
I was upset about that. I was in TwitchCon.
I also, gameplay aside, like, I really like that Modern Warfare beta in a way that I haven't been into Call of Duty in a long time.
Yeah.
I guess first Call of Duty in a long time here. You guys play Apex? I got an Apex story here.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
my thing with Apex is it's just when it comes to competitive shooters, I do not hold a candle. And like Call of Duty is a little bit more of a casual competitive shooter where you can kind of just hop in, play a few matches, say, okay, I did okay, or I sucked, or I got stomped, and then I'd walk away and then come back the next day and be fine with wash, rinse, repeat. But Apex, it's like that curve. It's kind of like Fortnite and all that stuff.
Especially now, I considered going back to it because you're talking about the new update, right? The new season, season 3 or whatever, with the new map and everything.
Oh, I got an even newer story.
Oh shit!
Season 3's out. People playing on that new map.
I know.
Like ice and fire and looks kind of neat.
Dragons.
Halloween event.
Try just for that to check it, but yeah. Go ahead.
It's coming. Halloween event. Apparently, data miners have pulled out that there is a mode. There's going to be called Shadowfall, which turns dead players into vengeful shadows that stalk the living. So it sounds very much like the... do you guys ever play the old like infected modes, like in like Halo 3 and 4 around Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Where one person would start as the zombie faction and it would like spread through the humans. It kind of sounds like that. And I don't really play Apex, but like I might...
I would do that.
Play
See,
some zombie.
There's a place for us for after we die, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I would do that.
So would I, actually.
I've even considered checking out the new map just for the sake of being able to play it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure I'm still competent enough to be able to like play a little bit, but of course, people that have been playing Apex for a while, the core guns and shooting mechanics and things like that haven't changed. Also, the characters, like it's like probably 2.
There's so many new characters now at this point. Yeah,
since launch,
it's not quite as much as Overwatch.
It's like 5 since
There's
launch.
5.
I'm sure we can name them. There's man who makes the Mirage. He makes the Mirages. That's one.
He
was a launch character.
Oh right, he just wasn't. You had to unlock him. Okay, sorry. Yeah, him and Gasman were in, and then they released. Shit, I'm sure we could do this.
Gasman.
They're the guy that's super sprinty, right? And has the jumping pads.
Yeah.
They got some kind of like ninja-looking guy-ish.
Is that
like a ninja or ninja?
A ninja.
Watts, yeah, they got Watts, whatever the lady who makes the barrier is, the space lady.
Octane, Watts, and then whatever.
There's totally another one. Yeah, maybe 3.
The new one looks like, if you guys know
Crypto.
what the King Kong fan is, he looks
Crypto.
like that.
I like that. Did anyone see that story cutscene with that guy who sounds a lot like Nolan North? Is apparently not Nolan North.
Weird.
It's quite good. Let's see here. Oh boy, Randy Pitchford. There's a name we talk about a lot on this podcast.
Oh boy,
the head honcho behind Gearbox. Those are the folks who make Borderlands.
Right.
A little bit of neutral news, I guess. The lawsuits. So this began in 2018. And it is just a can of worms where Randy Pitchford and his former legal counsel, Wade Collender, kind of got in a
last name.
Yeah, he sounds like a Red Dead character.
Wade Collender.
Old Doc Wade Collender.
Yeah.
They basically it just sounded like a dispute over money where Randy initially was trying to sue Wade for not paying back a $300,000 loan, which was supposed to be for a house or something. Wade immediately fired back with a countersuit, which accused Randy Pitchford of very, very serious charges, including being in possession of underage pornography, leaking company secrets, embezzling money. Very, very, very serious accusations. And they have agreed to just drop charges. The story this week is that they both were like, we're going to drop our lawsuits and never speak of this ever again.
Huh.
Yeah, from what I had heard, it's like there was some court mandated stuff and they had to there was apologies exchanged and stuff like that. And then, yeah.
The charges are insane against Pitchford. Pitchford's, this is a quote from the story, Pitchford siphoned off studio profits to throw parties in which, quote, adult men have reportedly exposed themselves to minors. The infamous USB stick with the alleged underage pornography on it left it in medieval times.
That's what was that involved in the
left it in medieval times?
At a medieval time, so we were all so hyped for the Green Knight that I left my underage porno USB stick on the table, I guess.
Was that a part of the lawsuit, or was how is that not being tried criminally? Like, I don't understand that part of it.
Maybe they got rid of it. I don't know.
I don't understand the legal system here in Canada, and it's like kind of pretty straightforward compared to the one in America. I really don't get the legal system in America.
No,
that thing is its own unique alien beast. Like that thing is crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But yep, they have both dropped the lawsuits and are bound by confidentiality. So I guess that is the end of that.
Yeah, they can't talk about it outside,
which is wild because those are, like Dan says, very serious criminal accusations.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
And my feud with Randy Pitchford still rages on.
Yeah, I remember Borderlands 3 came out. You were like, I'm just not so sure about Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford calls it, quote, my game. He says there are no microtransactions in my game. And Game Informer runs a story of like, well, actually there are microtransactions here, Randy. And Randy tries to sue them.
Wow.
Fuck off, bud. There's a big thing between Andy McNamara and Randy Pitchford. Like, it's just, ugh.
Yeah, I've only heard not good things about Randy, and like he's kind of been off-putting at events where I've seen him and stuff like that. Yeah.
Borderlands 3.
I don't know about any of this stuff, but
just remember, Randy Pitchford did not make Borderlands 3 as much as he claims that he did. Yeah. I bet you could count the amount of code Randy wrote. I bet it's 0. I bet the amount of time Randy spent in the trenches is negligible. But again, I don't work there. I don't know that. If you work at Gearbox and would like to anonymously write into podcast at talkingruts.com.
Anonymously, because that motherfucker's going to sue you.
Let's blow this fucking story wide open. Red Dead 2. Here's some great news. Red Dead 2 coming to PC, cowboys. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
November the 5th. Less than a month.
I think yeah.
Yeah, well, the big thing was once Rockstar launched their launcher, that led to a lot of speculation that Red Dead was right around the corner, and I was really hoping for a Red Dead 1 remaster on top of Red Dead 2 coming to PC.
Probably not. No.
God, wouldn't it be so amazing if they just remade Red Dead 1 in the Red Dead 2 engine and put it on PC?
That'd be a lot of work. That'd be like,
amazing.
I feel like that would be like a $500 game.
But yeah, no, I couldn't be more excited.
Now that I think, it would still be a lot of work. But they already did a lot of the work as far as like changing, because I think it's likely to assume that most of the terrain and stuff from the original part of that map, which is in Red Dead 2,
a lot of it, yeah, except for Mexico.
It's all kind of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It would have to.
They got the John Marston model.
I think it would still be a lot of work to like make sure all that stuff plays nice. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't. Like
program all that stuff.
Well, it's the same engine, just upgraded. Like it's still the same engine from Red Dead Redemption 1. It's just
the same
gussied up for 2.
Didn't know that.
Well, it's the same mechanics. Like it plays.
But just because it's the same mechanics, I'm gonna verify the.
No, double check that for sure. But no, super exciting. One, because we'll be able to see just like playing GTA 4 or GTA 5 between the console version. Like it's a world of difference between the two graphically if you have a computer that can actually run it.
What is in the Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, or
same engine.
Rage for short. They use this, and every single one of their games is credited to the Rockstar, whatever the Rage engine, whatever I just said it stood for.
They've been making games in the same engine for
years.
But also too, like how much different is the, you know, I'm sure they're changing their engine.
Oh, for sure.
It wouldn't just be like, I have to imagine it would be like making Red Dead from the ground up. Like you probably have the voice lines, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Everything else you would probably have to do
mocap information. You can plug and play that stuff. Either way, it still would cost money. But man, people have been clamoring for a Red Dead 1 port.
I am so excited, and I'm gonna make me some westerns.
Well, now the thing is, though, there is no currently announced Rockstar editor in Red Dead Redemption 2.
I have to imagine they're going to do that, though.
I would hope, because once GTA 5 came to PC and they launched the next-gen versions of GTA 5 for Xbox One and the PS4, they did eventually add Rockstar Editor. That came with the launch of the PC version, and then they integrated it into the console versions as well. So I would hope so, and they say there are more announcements to come in regards to the Red Dead 2 launch on PC. So hopefully they confirm that. But I mean, they favorited my and your tweet in regards to like reacting to it. They did not favorite my one saying, I hope there's a Rockstar editor with it. So I'm assuming they're just seeing that and scrolling on by, and either they're playing their cards close to their chest, or there might not be one. I would hope so, but I don't know how many people really use the GTA 5 one. Like, and if it's really worth them putting it out there. I don't think it's not worth it for the community that exists, because there isn't really a machinima community, so to speak, nowadays surrounding GTA 5, but there are people who still make those like car videos and whatever.
I just saw a great film with Lil Jimmy is in Trouble, I believe, a GTA 5 the first machinima I've watched in 10 years.
I think you voiced in it.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah, I've been making stuff in GTA 5 because I'm a weirdo who still wants to make machinima and whatever. But if they added, one of the biggest things I'm excited for is mods and the potential of the editor, because then you can actually do some really fun stuff. I know the 5M people said that they would be providing support a month after.
And then also, no pixel eventually, 100%. If 5M supporting it, no pixel, the popular, GTA RP server.
That's the role playing stuff, right? 5M?
Yeah. All in that shit. And I would encourage you guys to get in that too, if you can. Yeah.
Yes. I am.
Nothing was built for more for us than this, I think.
I know.
If we do not have a Red Dead Redemption 2 posse rolling around a month after this comes out on PC, I think there's something wrong in the world. I think it's going to be really good. But yeah, I'm curious to see what the community does with it, with mods, because it's going to get insane. I can't wait to ride around as Nico Bellic in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hey, cousin.
Want to go bowling?
Hey, cousin, who want to go bowling?
Cousin Nico.
Even if there is no official Rockstar editor, which is like they're kind of like their cinematic sort of machinima tool, I bet the mods will totally. Somebody will make a equivalent mod of it. Yeah.
And also too, even if that doesn't exist, I was even thinking about making stuff just in the game using just
the cinematic view.
Yeah, cinematic view.
Like we used to.
Just being able to get rid of the HUD and stuff. I mean, you still could make some really cool shit.
Yeah.
Like the old days, player actors and clever video editing.
Yeah, it's just you'd have to use the kind of prefab cinematic stuff if you wanted to get any sort of like aerial stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna pitch a machinima idea to you guys here. I've played and loved Control. Watched the show Lost Room. Have been really up in the new weird genre.
I just finished The Lost Room.
Well, too bad you didn't mention it during the games portion. Continue, E.
Well, that's a TV show, so it can totally still. A series like that, a new weird series, Items of Power, weird things, set in the Old West.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about it. We're all nodding.
Yeah, that's right. If you're watching live,
none of us will do
nodding.
anything, but it's a good idea.
I tried to start it in the GTA thing, and it just kind of didn't work with what I.
Oh, you were talking about that recently because I've been bitten by that.
Ideas, buddy. Look, I'm going to show these. If you're watching live, you see these sticky notes on stream. Here's my machinima idea on 3 sticky notes that I just frantically scribbled one day.
Yeah,
it's right there. It's locked up.
I like how you have a Google Docs for the show notes, but you do sticky notes for your machinima ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. So there's something I like the physical. I feel like if I physically write an idea, I in a way like pull it out of my brain and can stop obsessing over it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it was just driving away right there.
That was it. That was the idea.
I actually found my physical GTA 4 Batman machinima notes from a million years ago. Because I went down to my dad's house, he had a box full of my old stuff, and it actually has some good ideas on there that were stolen from future Batman things that ended up happening. Arkham Knight or Arkham City kind of stole one of my twists. Not even bad. Not even bad.
Arkham City did?
Yeah, the whole Joker not being the Joker, but it was Clayface.
Was that
spoilers?
That was in City, or was that Night?
That was City. That was the end of City. Believe me, I'm a Batman freak. I have Joker on my arm and Batman. Only people watching can see.
End of City. Doesn't he like grab onto your back at the end of City?
He fell for the
serum.
Yeah.
Joker gag.
Yeah. It's a whole.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of those games were free on Epic Store recently.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, I don't know if they are anymore, but yeah, it was for
not anymore. It was for a little. And then they did that with
Deck.
Metro recently too. Metro Redo.
First 2, yeah.
First 2, yeah. They've been doing
Redux.
that. It's pretty cool. Say what you want about that, but free quality games, pretty cool. And it's.
I mean,
we don't hate on any. Like we're not boycotting Red Dead 2 because it's exclusive to the Rockstar launcher for the first month.
Are there people doing that though? Like
probably, I don't know,
because people get really pissy about this Epic Game Store exclusive stuff, which I get in the sense of like
we can't even just
hold on. Can I not?
Can of worms. I'm just like you put the lid back on the paint. And you got to like tap it down. That's what I'm doing right now with the Epic Store.
All right.
Say what you have to say.
Planet Zoo. The thing about I get the ones that were like either Kickstarted or whatever, and they were saying all platforms, and then they take the quick buck and say, okay, yeah, we're taking the money from Epic Games Store, and it's not going to be available on Steam. I get that pissing off those people, but for people who are like, I don't want to download all the launchers, I get it. I had to swallow that pill 8 years ago doing the Origin thing. Like I have Origin, I never use it. It never actually took off. And I mean, probably better now. I don't even know, but it's just a reality at this point. You're gonna have to get Netflix and Hulu and Zulu and Hoodoo and all the different things.
No.
You're also gonna have to get
Hoodoos are in Alberta.
Program. It's a platform where live shots of different rock formations, other hoodoos, if you will.
So
their expansion program Crevasse is on its way this summer.
Oh yeah.
It's a little callback to the old beginning of the show there. Voodoo joke.
Can't wait for the Shale show to come around. But like you're gonna have to like it's just a reality. Everybody's gonna be going for that buck.
It's too far gone into that world. We can't. Yeah, you'd have to undo a lot of that stuff.
And it's fine to have the criticisms like, no, cloud saves, that sucks. That is a very real criticism.
They'll get around to it.
No forums though. Like, when was the last time you posted on the Steam forums? Maybe just pick your hill to die on. Yeah. Let's see here. If you pre-order this Red Dead 2 on the launcher, I believe you get. I don't have it pulled, but they give you some of their. I think it might be two of free games.
Within a certain window of
it's like Max Payne 3, GTA 3. What's it, San Andreas?
LA Noire.
I just learned this week. I'm embarrassed to admit this. I've only ever played GTA 4, GTA 5. Did you guys know that GTA 3 and GTA San Andreas and GTA Vice City are all completely separate games?
Yep.
Yeah,
I had thought
except for GTA 3.
I thought San Andreas was the third GTA game, and I don't even know what I thought Vice City was. I don't even know Vice City.
No, hold on. Wait a minute. So you didn't play GTA 3?
Nope.
I had never played GTA 3 until recently. Well, there were two GTAs before GTA.
I didn't have a PlayStation.
GTA 3 was so significant because it was the first one that was like the 3 dimensions and being able to just fucking jack a car and
Vice
grab
City
guns
was my
and shoot
first.
people and in that world it was like
revolutionary.
Spun out that whole genre of like free roam,
open world games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
That's why it's so surprising because I remember like so many of us played that when we were younger, and
I
like, holy shit.
Totally recognize the significance. I didn't own the console, and you were a kid, so it was really hard to get stuff.
Yeah,
there are kids out there who play first-person shooters who have never played Halo. Well, all right, actually, young man, I'll have you know that the Halo was the left stick, right stick.
Had NAAC. Or NAA, whatever. What's the thing?
NCAA
football. Like it's just, I did not have that stuff. My friend had Vice City and San Andreas, and those games were tremendous. Those were really great games, and I'm surprised you didn't know that. I thought
alleged video game fan Matthew Eads, who's been doing this podcast for over a fucking decade, did not know that. Never really thought about it, to be honest.
Oh man,
I was like, San Andreas, the third GTA game. I know, like Big Smoke, and I know of them. I just never really fit them into the chronology.
Samuel Jackson was in San Andreas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
James Woods, Samuel Jackson.
There were some high-profile actors that were in there.
That was the game that made Rockstar say, we are not working with big name actors anymore. We're only using character actors and actors that we pick. They were done with it.
Trevor shows up I forget his name, shows up in Westworld a bunch. He's a big part of Westworld.
Oh, yeah? He was in one episode of Better Call Saul as well.
Oh yeah, shit. I just watched that episode a few days ago.
Stephen Ogg, the gun transaction. I just watched the first episode of season 2 yesterday. Oh my God. Catching up for some El Camino action here soon.
Do a Better Call Saul podcast.
5 days.
Just keep making podcasts for shows, Deeds.
I mean, we have a Game of Thrones and a Westworld one.
Better Call Saul FM. Am I right?
Probably. No, it would have to be like, what's the town they're in? Whatever, New Mexico FM.
Well, if you watch the show, are they in New Mexico at that point?
I think so.
Yeah,
somewhere in New Mexico.
Yeah.
For some reason I want to say it starts with an A. Don't know why.
Albuquerque.
That's where they're going to move. That's where we're going to move the.
I'll be quirky.
Oh, you know me. Occasionally, I'll be quirky.
Our Simpsons Roadshow will be coming out, debuting very soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We just need the show to go off the air and all the actors to pass away. Which, I mean, they're older than us, so fingers crossed.
And they are dropping. Martin passed away recently. They are dropping. That's horribly disrespectful. Martin Prince.
Just putting money in our pockets. So bless you. That Red Dead 2 PC remaster, also releasing on Stadia in November. Hey, did you guys know Stadia's coming out in November, right alongside Disney Plus?
It's a launch one.
Yeah, and all that stuff.
I've heard about it. I don't actually even remember really what it is.
So,
is that subscription based as well?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Am in on the news, and I want to say yes, it is.
Stadia again.
It is the Google box that it streams everything. You don't actually download any games, right? The idea is Stadia is running on hardware in the Google ship or whatever.
Not a new idea. We had this on live and all that kind of stuff.
We have Stadia, the kind of the scalability that they pitch is kind of the new thing where, like, you know, if your game is very intensive, we'll give you 3 GPUs. It'll run great. If it's not so intensive, you know, we'll give you half a GPU, and that will run 2 people's games. And the idea that you don't need to own the hardware, but can still get a theoretically infinite amount of computing power is kind of their pitch. Of like, we're gonna have physics will be on the server side, and it'll
we'll see how
AI or whatever. Yes,
We'll let that first round be the guinea pig of people who actually sign up for that. And
yeah, on live worked well enough for it to be a thing, but it was still noticeable when things dipped, like resolution would go down, latency would be a problem.
It did not work well enough to be a successful business.
No.
What is cloud gaming?
Planet Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up getting one just to see what the hell, or I'll listen to see first what people think of it. I don't think I'll run out and get one because no one's going to give a shit whether or not I'm streaming something on Stadia or. Yeah. That begs the question, though. If you do have a Stadia, then are you able to have it? Are you able to stream it then off of your Stadia? Like,
theoretically, I know.
Or are they going to have just an HDMI out that you can then connect to your computer or something?
Their biggest folly is they have everyone so confused. I feel like they are trying to explain it, but they're not doing a good job at it, and nobody understands what the fuck Stadia is.
I mean, I sort of. It is a little Android box. I mean, I'm assuming it's Android. It is a box that goes in front of your TV, and it literally is just piping video from a server somewhere. There is a computer in wherever, a different country, running Red Dead 2. Whatever you want to play, and it is just piping you the video. I know the controller hooks up to Wi-Fi, which is pretty unique. It doesn't hook up to the actual box. The controller itself has a connection, which is supposed to reduce latency. But like you say,
how is it going to be good as what I play? All right,
it's probably it can't be.
It's going to be better. It's always going to be snappier than
that's right.
What latency are we going to have there?
Now we are the people who are like, well, records are always analog audio. You'll never get better than that.
Tapes are the highest form.
It's so hard to pitch something like that to especially gamers, because gamers do not like latency. Any of that, even if there's a little bit of it, like super particular and picky. So it better be fucking perfect. Otherwise, this is going to be the same thing as on live in my mind.
Yeah,
like
totally. Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
It's just not really noticeable. It has to be as good as like my fucking wireless mouse that I finally switched to, because they finally have wireless mouses now that are indistinguishable from wired. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, holy shit, this is immediate. It's good enough to be like right there. It has to be that good.
I have a wired mouse. Everyone's holding their mouse up on the live
goddamn
stream.
Spaceship.
Look at this. The cord on mine is like frayed.
Like 5 years ago.
Oh
yeah,
man. Get a new mouse.
What with what money? All right. What am I made of mouses?
I'll send you a mouse. I got mouse.
Mice? He's just gonna start fucking hum chucking mice out. What do you want? Steel Series? I got the Diablo mouse. I've anecdotally heard from folks in the industry that Stadia, the exact anecdote I heard, which really resonates with me, was they were able to hit the Gears of War active reload every time. So it is tight enough, which again, that is not like
hit that little bip.
Yeah, that's not fighting game tight. That is not like frame perfect. That is not even close to fucking frame perfect. So I don't know how it holds up. Killer Instinct is one of the launch titles for Stadia, though, so they must be pretty confident in their thing. But like y'all, until I get my hands on it and literally see it for myself and go, okay, wow, like it can't be as good, right? It can't be.
We'll have to wait and see.
Know. It's Google, I guess. So
that's kind of the only thing inspiring confidence potentially.
Yeah, it's Google, right? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm gonna wait and see.
November coming.
Real quick, Eads, The Lost Room, pretty good.
The Lost Room, yeah. Hey, we don't gotta rush. No, real quick about it, bud.
Lost Room. Me earlier. Dan was rushing me.
No. This is.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a game you were talking about.
Well, this is Dan's podcast, but I'm gonna take the reins here.
It's Talking Danless podcast.
No, yeah, Lost Room's good. I played it. I watched it.
Yeah.
I will say the acting can be a little stiff sometimes.
Yes,
but
it feels like a show out of 2006, which it totally is.
It's a 2007 show, I believe. Yeah.
Very low budget as well. I think they made that show on like, I'm gonna say like $50,000. Like, there's not a lot going on special effects wise.
They did great though for what it was. And
Yeah,
that's
cool.
the thing is it's one of those things where it doesn't require a shit ton of special effects, especially if you're creative with the different objects of power, which are cool.
Which they are. Like they lost room.
Talismans.
So this Chucky. That's weird. I was just doing a Shandu bit on my stream today. The Lost Room is a TV series about objects of power, much like Control. There's like X-Files, Twilight Zone. New weird. I've heard the genre referred to, and I love that.
Yeah.
Where like Lovecraft is kind of old weird. This is new weird. And they are super creative with their objects of power. Like, you tap the pencil and it makes pennies. That's it. That's all that thing does. It just makes pennies. If you combine it, I forget what it is. If you combine it with the wristwatch, like you get telepathy or some shit.
Yeah, some sort
the
of
wristwatch, it just cooks eggs. You put an egg in the middle of the wristwatch, it cooks the egg. I don't know how they figured that out, but they did.
Wait,
Such a great show.
3 shows or 3 episodes?
There are technically 6,
7.
but for some reason it's broken into 3 hour longish.
6 or 7.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours.
You can find it on Prime, Amazon Prime. I think there's all 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
That's when I watched it. Yeah.
Someone in chat says sounds like SCP. Yes, exactly. Sounds like SCP.
Before
all
SCP.
these things came way before SCP.
Yeah.
SCP, for anyone who doesn't know, is a story wiki where folks write basically short stories about these different special containment protocol, about these different things. Some of them are amazing. The thing with SCP is
and real. No.
yeah, and it's that staircase that goes forever. The thing with SCP is because it's all user submitted, the quality of the writing is like very, very up and down.
Up and down, yeah, for sure.
But like, I'm gonna say like, there was 1 week at work when I was an electrician where I spent the entire week just reading SCP stuff and like doing nothing at work. Secure,
like
contain, and protect.
creepypastas and
You're
stuff.
right. That's where I learned about a hume. That is a measurement of reality, I believe. Things that have more humes have more reality about them. It's very
This world only has 40 humes, Morty.
Morty.
You don't go to any world that has 40 humes. You need at least 100 for it to be unique.
Yeah.
Morty.
Lost Room is very good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Max.
Yeah, no, I thought it was
Check it
good.
Yell at
When
home.
it was ending, I can definitely tell that they rushed some stuff where it was like at one point they realized they weren't going to get renewed, and it was like, we got to spin this shit up.
It seemed like it was going to be about like 10 episodes, and then there's a part around episode 4 where they're like, oh, we got 2 episodes. Let's fucking go, you guys.
It's not really too much of a spoiler anyway, for someone watching, but there's a female that ends up being his intended like relationship, like
out of nowhere.
Whatever. Oh shit, he might watch it. Well, it's fine. It's nothing super, but they're like, they're just all of a sudden kissing, and I'm like, when did that happen?
Yeah, they're like
Out of nowhere.
mortal enemies, and then 10 minutes later they're like making out, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you're like,
that's-
oh. And then I was like, okay, they meant for that to be like a longer, probably like drawn out relationship thing. Probably
Does he have an
over a
object
longer
that
period
just
of time.
like makes ladies fall in love with him or something?
Yeah, stuff like that, where I was just like, oh, okay, I guess you're just speeding it up. But it's still, that said, still really good. I would watch it. And you should
Super
watch
good.
it.
Yeah, you should watch
I'm going to check it out now.
Well,
Highly
yeah,
recommend
how
it.
long to get through it, really. It was like, I think I went through the entire series in the manner of like a week. Not
If
even.
it's only like 6 or 7
Casually watching.
episodes.
You could do it in a couple days if you
Yeah.
just had some time, yeah.
Shall
But it's
check
good.
it out.
Speaking of TV shows,
Mhm. I'm not gonna cut you off. Do you have another TV show?
yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm just gonna insert, not cut you off, but we're getting close to the emails part. If folks who are watching live have questions, thoughts, emails for Max, Stan, and myself, throw them in the chat now over on the. Am I the only one on the Talking Reckless stream? I think I'm the only one that's up. Throw in that chat, and I will. We'll start collecting them for the email section.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Continue.
Were you
Shows.
talking about the chat there? I have it right there. That's right.
Yeah.
Shows.
Yeah. What's the other show? Man?
Oh, Star Trek.
Oh,
Oh,
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Pickard.
You can't.
New trailer
That's
that came
how
out.
Hero says it. I just saw a thing about whatever that
Oh,
guy's
what?
name is. Carry on.
Carry
the new
on.
trailer came out
Masioka, I think is his name, but I might totally be misremembering.
from New York Comic Con, I think.
Yeah.
I guess was the
NYCC,
extended
yeah.
trailer. It's like a little over 2 minutes and 40 some odd seconds.
Yes, we
There's
watched
some
it.
good stuff in there.
Man.
Some stuff that I was just like,
You know what? I
what are
thought
your
it was
thoughts, Dan?
like,
I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Okay.
what was with the audio mixing on that trailer? I was watching it on my phone, and the music seemed way louder than the voices. And usually it's not that bad.
I
Like
watched it
maybe
on my
it's because
TV, so
Okay. You know what? I like it. I feel like Data's wig's a little weird.
Data's face is a little weird.
I mean,
Well,
he's
they're
old, right?
de-aging
Brent
him.
Spiner's weird. Yeah, he's
He had said he wouldn't come back because he didn't look like, what he used to when he was younger. And then obviously they're doing the de-aging stuff with him. You know what? I left that trailer because they cap it with the Riker Troy stuff that I had the biggest smile on my face. And I just felt like my heart warmed because of it.
I did the same.
I was just like, I can't wait for that because that's going to make me feel so good.
Yeah.
And that touched me in my childhood, which is dirty, but it was very
easy there,
really,
Randy.
There was a point where I was like, is that Nathan Fillion? But it's the actor who plays Hugh. Do you remember the episode where Picard,
I know who Hugh is.
Hugh from for the people listening to the podcast, there's a Borg who they ended up freeing from the collective. This is before the 7 of 9 stuff in Voyager. In Next Generation, they free him from the Borg, and they have the chance to infect him with a virus that would take down the Borg ultimately. But since he's an individual and he's a human being essentially, they decided not to do that. And the Federation
is Jonathan Del Acro.
Thank you.
And apparently the Borg he plays is 3rd of 5, aka Hugh.
Is he? So wait, is he in the trailer as Hugh? Like
he is Hugh. Yes, he is coming back, and apparently that's tied in with the 7 of 9 stuff that's going on. But that blew my mind seeing him because I had already known that he was going to be in the show, but he looked a lot like Nathan Fillion because he had the hair and it kind of looked like Nathan Fillion. But they're bringing him back. They're bringing 7 of 9 back, who we never even saw interact with Picard.
Akimbo fucking blasters in that trailer.
Yeah. And Eads hasn't even seen the first trailer. She's in the first trailer, just saying, "What the hell are you doing, Picard?" Like she's interacting with Picard a little bit, and they haven't blown all the surprises yet. Hopefully, like they showed the Riker stuff. That's cool. They're giving us enough for the show, just little teases. I
think it's enough that they've shown, like, because these are all things like that we had already kind of supposed that it might happen, hypothesized that Riker would show up or that Data would show up. It makes sense that some of the old cast will show up. So they haven't like completely shown everything.
I would lose my shit if Guinan came in. Like,
fuck,
if they had Whoopi,
that's Whoopi.
With those two,
she's got to be in there. You guys think John DeLance?
And also John DeLance.
You guys think John Delancey's in there? He's got to be, right?
If they don't, that's such
TNG, like. The whole TNG story centers around Q. It would be crazy not to have him.
Bookends the show, yeah.
They don't even have to worry about de-aging him because Q could just make a quip about, be like, "Oh, you wound me, Picard. Even I show up all wrinkly and
like I look just like you." Yeah.
It's a good Q. Have you ever played a game called Star Trek Borg, Max? It's a FMV game. It stars John Delancey. You would love it.
I have to play it, It is. I think I may have like forever ago on my parents' like old computer, way old time ago. But that was like old enough where my parents were probably like messing around with it, and I was like, "What's that?" And our computer probably still barely could run it, I would imagine, even though it's just video files and shit.
96 apparently it came out.
Oh my goodness.
Canadian product apparently.
Yeah. John Delancey or the game?
The game is billed as a Canadian product for some reason.
Interesting.
It's very good. It's very good, and has directed by Jonathan Frakes. No. It pulled up the first contact thing for me. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is all first contact.
What the fuck?
No, that's not.
I really did like the whole in the trailer though, just like the treating of Picard, like, "Oh, you old man, you're not supposed to be here anymore."
Yeah, he's like spelling his name.
He's just like
"Oh, so good to see you up again," or whatever.
Yeah. So someone quoted here in the comments of the video. It's nice to see you up and around again. And then glare from Picard.
I like the visitor badge. That's like the insignia, but sideways, and it says visitor under it. That was really neat. It was awesome to see them in the TNG like uniforms.
Outfits. Yeah, uniforms.
That was so good.
Do you think that like see you up and around thing? When I heard that, I was like, because he's been Professor X in the wheelchair for the last like 20 years and not Picard. You think that's old Maddie just reading too much into that?
A little bit. I mean, well, he was doing Picard and Professor X around the same time. Like they did Star Trek Nemesis in 2005, 2003. Something like that. So like he was dual Picarding and Xaviering at the same time.
If nothing else, it's nice to see like a Star Trek series that has actual ties back to like some old school shit that I really care about. Obviously, TNG being my favorite series, and TNG specifically having some good fucking budget behind it too, because all the stuff that previously came before, like Nemesis was all right. That had a decent budget, but then again, it was a long time ago
for Nemesis, apparently.
The birth of Tom Hardy, Star Trek Nemesis.
The birth of Tom Hardy.
37 on Rotten Tomatoes for Nemesis.
Yeah, nobody liked Nemesis. I think Nemesis is okay.
Nemesis is all right.
It's okay, yeah.
But
it'll be cool to see all that stuff like reimagined now with the CBS fucking budget of just like, yep, this is one of our big shows. We're gonna, put a lot into it, hopefully.
Yeah. And my thing is, it looks great. Cinematography wise, looks amazing. Sets look amazing. The makeup looks a little, when you're filming it with that cinematic style camera, like the makeup looks a little meh. Like the alien characters don't look that great. Data's wig looks a little weird at the top, at the fringe, and it's like that's the only thing that's really kind of throwing me off. Is with the camera looking so sharp and cinematic and everything, that the makeup effects look a little cheesy, just to me.
I'm looking back to his wig. It does look a little weird.
Yeah,
Data was the only one who stood out. It was like, it looks like he has prosthetics. Look at his cheek prosthetics to kind of like fill him out in that trailer.
I think that's digital. I think that's digitally
I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It almost looks like there's a little bit of blur on it too.
Yeah, they're de-aging him and or taking out his puffy cheeks.
It's like what's his name was playing Geralt. And was also Mission Impossible. Mustache Superman?
Oh, yeah. Henry Cavill is.
It's like, it's like Henry Cavill.
I've heard Cavill. Caviezel. Jim Caviezel.
It's like Superman's mustache, where they like CG'd it out. I didn't know to look for it, and honestly wasn't that offended by it until someone was like, no, dude, they like CG'd the mustache out. I was like, oh, that's all I can see now.
Pissed me off watching that movie. I got so upset. And I love Batman and Superman.
I mean, the mustache performed very well in Mission Impossible. It was a good thing he kept it because
great, yeah. Worth it for Fallout, not worth it for Justice League. And that was only for the reshoots. It wasn't even for the entire movie. It was just the reshoot stuff.
Mr. Data looks weird. Mr. Data looks fucking weird in that trailer.
Yeah.
End of discussion. Maybe, but it's a dream. I think so. Maybe maybe he's supposed to. It seems like it's a dream.
Even if he does look a little weird, I'm still gonna be happy to see Data as long as it's not like so happy. Like, holy shit.
So happy. Yeah. He could even just, I don't know, age him and like, oh, remember that time the Borg made you into a person? Well, now you age, I guess. They could work it out. I have complete faith.
Did you ever see Nemesis, Eads?
Yeah, a long time ago. That's Picard's twin.
Well, yeah, but Data blows up at the end. Like he's...
Oh! But don't they like rebuild him with parts from himself?
The unsettling version, B4, which they don't even mention lore, which is weird in that movie.
Sing accustomed to your face or some nonsense.
He sings, what does he sing? Blue Skies, I think.
Never saw the sun.
Yeah. Shining so bright.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw that. Did y'all ever see the deleted scene at the end of Nemesis where they showed the seatbelts coming through? Like Picard meets his new first officer since Riker's going off to be on the Titan or whatever, and they're like testing seatbelts, and like Picard kind of fucks with his new first officer. It's actually pretty funny. And it would have been the original ending of that movie, but it wasn't a bad deleted scene, and they deleted it anyway. So Data is supposedly, I mean, at this point, it's probably he's dreaming, and they're probably never even going to mention B4. But B4 in the movie tie-in before B4.
Are you saying B4 is the other android who looks like Data, right?
Android. That looks like Data. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be confusing, but the movie thinks it's clever and calls him that.
It's like R2, but he's B4.
Yeah, he's B4 because he was made before Data and lore. He was the first.
Didn't even need you to explain that one. I was right there with you, but
they explained it in the movie. No, they explained it in the movie.
Dude.
But in the prequel comic to J.J. Abrams' 2009 movie, they have B4 who has now, like, he has Data's memories. He is practically Data. He's the captain of the Enterprise. Picard's gone off, and he's the Vulcan ambassador to Vulcan and all that stuff. And like Spock is trying to warn them about the destruction of Romulus because the star has exploded and they're trying to seek refuge or whatever. And then it ends up getting destroyed while Spock's on that mission. And so that ties into all the stuff with the JJ verse. So I'd imagine they're probably just going to ignore all the B4 stuff for the series, considering it seems like it's a dream sequence for.
Forgive Star Trek newbie. Well, not new. I've seen all of TNG and the movies once in my life. Mr. Data's dead. Mr. Data blew himself up, and the person Brent Spiner now plays B4, who has Data's memories but is not Data.
Well, I mean, I don't know about in this
Is that right?
Picard series. It seems like
I
it's
think
just a dream
he
sequence.
he doesn't know exactly. Yeah, it could just simply be a dream sequence.
In the canon, not including Picard, because we don't know, but like in the canon up to now, Mr. Data's
If you count
dead.
that prequel comic book series, yeah, Data sacrificed himself, but he had performed a memory kind of thing. He tried to.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, he tried to do a memory backup thing with B4 to where he could give B4 the chance to be a fully functional android just like him. And by the end, with B4 singing that song, it's inferred that he has transferred his consciousness essentially over to B4, and B4 would eventually become Data.
Man, I gotta
or a version of.
totally refresh myself on all that TNG stuff. I mean, I probably won't read the comic, but
Yeah. It's not
a long
bad.
time.
The
Yeah, it's been a
prequel comic's
very
not
long
bad. And it
time.
makes the 2009 movie make more sense because they kind of skim over a lot of stuff. But
I like the JJ verse. I
No, I
like
do
it a
too.
lot. That
I
time
do
travel
too.
stuff. When Mr. Spock meets Mr. Spock, it says Mr. Spock. I was
it's great. And
losing
Beyond
my
is really good.
fucking mind.
I really like Into Darkness. A lot of people don't like Into Darkness.
I like Into Darkness,
but I like
quite a
Into
bit.
Darkness.
Yeah, I like it.
Max.
He's not.
No,
he's not a cumberbitch like you and I are.
No, I like it. I like the new. I cumber bitch it up, I guess.
I mean,
more
you know,
of a
I cumber bitch it up.
than
Bitches.
Don't make me cumber bitch you
matches.
Oh my, just getting lewd.
All right.
No, I liked it. I don't think I saw Into Darkness though. I don't.
I haven't seen the full thing either.
No.
Oh no, Into Darkness is the con one. I've seen Into Darkness. I haven't seen Beyond.
No. Yeah. I've seen Con.
Yes, I've seen the con.
Con. Haven't seen the one after that.
Yeah, and Spock.
Beyond is really good. Beyond's
Spock
pretty good.
Spock and
That's the
Kirk
one.
like switch roles at the end or whatever.
I actually really liked Into Darkness. I thought it was good.
Yes.
And it's Con. It was a good reimagining of Con and the character, and not just
Voted-
being like the whole
Yeah.
way he was
Yeah.
before in the older series.
I thought it was neat
January 23rd on CBS All Access. Oh boy. January 23rd, 2020 is and Amazon Prime on the 24th. Okay, that's not bad.
In
So-
Canada or no, I think
Everywhere. Well, the Amazon Prime thing says in more than 200 countries and territories.
Yeah,
so
it's not in America. It's CBS
Might
All
not be in
Access
Canada
exclusive
either.
in America. But this is a Canadian podcast, so what am I doing correcting you?
What are you even doing correcting me?
I know. This is the Talking Danless podcast, everybody. It'll be Danless next week. Don't you worry. No Homers Club.
The No Homers Club. Anybody got anything else here pre-emails? Any thoughts? Any TV, movie, lingering concern?
Any other games we've been playing, gang?
Games? I mean, I brought games. Dan, you're the only one who didn't bring a game.
I said Gears 3
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Twitch Sings. We talked about Twitch.
Yeah, we
I
talked for
haven't been playing many games.
4 seconds about those, I guess.
I haven't been playing many games. I've just been I've been kind of just chillaxing playing.
I'm going through my video history on Twitch here to see if I played any other games this week. I don't think so. You stole my Minecraft idea, so I mean, what more can I say, really?
I did start playing hardcore Minecraft
Yeah.
just because I found out from you. No, I didn't.
No,
People
that's
had asked me a
yeah.
long time ago if I had ever played it, and I was like, I didn't know. But then I started watching you play, and I was like, this seems like a fun idea. So I'm gonna steal that.
Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address. You can write in your electronic M's. You can drop on our subreddit over at r/talkingreckless. If you go to talkingreckless.com, you can click the Discord link. You can even leave voicemails on the Discord. We'll play them here on the podcast. There is one. One came in hot on the email here.
Woo.
So if you have, if you're watching live, you have questions, you have thoughts, you want to write in something for Max, Dan, and I to ponder, now's your chance. I got an eye on the chat. From the email, Meet Reality writes and says, howdy, good brothers. What are some games from your childhood that you can remember that really sparked the gaming fire? You all got like that one game that you played when you were young where you're like, oh shit, video games are pretty dope.
Mass Effect. No, it happened before that, but
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mass Effect
before
was
that.
definitely like one of the more significant ones going into like, I would say modern gaming even.
Yeah. Mass Effect for me like
It's a big
was
changing
the
point.
realization that like narrative in video games can tell an incredible story
Right.
and have an
Yeah.
incredible narrative and be so cinematic.
That's what it was for me too,
Make you cry sometimes.
Cicero.
Sweet.
I would say Super Mario World. Super Mario World was the game that really got me hooked on video games in general. Like I played that ad nauseum. I still play that every now and again when I have the chance, which I don't really have. It's been a couple of years, but like every now and again, I'll try to either find a way to play that, or my brother actually has the SNES classic thing that has that, and I should get him to come over and bring. Now I'm itching to play it, but Super Mario World was the game that lit my world on fire. Because I had played like Duck Hunt and the older Mario game before that, but you know, it's
Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Mario Brothers. But World was my favorite growing up, so that really kind of got me on that train.
This is such a lame answer, but for me it was Halo. It was totally Halo. Where like
Halo was a big one before. Yeah, that was probably
see how
sure.
old I was.
Mm-hmm.
It came out when I was just 2001, so I was 10 years old. Like the perfect age to just play an infinite amount of Halo with my friend after school every single day. Every single day.
Yep.
Which feels like a cop-out because everybody's answer is going to be fucking Halo. But it was totally...
if you want to go
Resident Evil?
super... let me see. Super early.
I mean, Pokemon, the Pokemon Yellow and Gold were... probably the first
earlier than
yeah.
that.
Oh, you can't. I don't think there are any
playing
games
stuff
earlier.
on like Bonk's Adventure on the TurboGrafx 16. Ski on the old Macintosh.
Bonk's Adventure.
Yeah,
I
played those.
haven't thought about Bonk in a long time.
Yeah.
Kinda
Those are the ones that there's a
Maybe
black
remake
console
those.
that was about yay big, and your games were fucking looked like a hotel key card with a circuit board on it that had a graphic.
I want to say it came out on the Game Boy or something as well.
Bonk's Adventure. I've never even heard of that one.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. TurboFX 16, Game Boy, NES, arcade, PSP, apparently.
TurboGrafx 16 games. Let me see
And
these.
Amiga.
Yep, Bonk's Adventure. Let me see some of these other ones that
Did you have a Turbo? You had a TurboGrafx 16?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad had that.
Let's do a list of
what else
games
was
here.
Blazing Lasers.
Adam's Family.
Didn't
I think
There's a
we
new
had
one coming
Shoeman
out.
too.
When I tune into Max's stream these days, I get ads for a new Adam's Family.
Yeah,
Really?
movie.
Oh, we totally
Animated
had
one.
Keith Courage. Keith Courage was one of them.
Around 93 and 94.
These
came
are
out
so
TurboGrafx.
old. It looks so fucking old when you look at them. The cartridges, the key cards that you just slotted in. Wow.
There's like something in Fallout.
It does. It really does. Like something you plug into for like a, I don't know, an access code or something like that.
No way. There was a 1, 2, 3 Fire Pro Wrestling games on TurboGrafx 16. Who'd have thought?
TurboGrafx, it was take two. TurboGrafx 16 was great. It's good. Yeah, I like that. That was fun.
That's a heck of
I like
a
that.
heck of a pick.
Y'all ever play the Saturn back in the day?
No, I did not. I
Didn't
did not
have a
a
Saturn.
Saturn.
Sega
No.
Saturn.
I was
I didn't
babysat
have
by
the
folks who had
Saturn
a
either.
Saturn.
Again, I had friends that were well off and their parents bought them whatever. So I had played like Resident Evil growing, like the first one in 97. I played like the Tomb Raider games at my friend's house as those were coming out. Splinter Cell, I rented all those after Pandora Tomorrow came out. I went and played through all those.
This is getting a little bit later, but we had a Dreamcast. Which
There you go.
was
That's what my brother had NCAA on.
yeah, completely open. Like we pirated a lot of games back in the day. 'cause
Oh
it was
my! You had a
super fucking easy.
jailbroken Dreamcast.
You didn't have to jailbreak them.
I didn't even know that. was a
Every
thing.
Dreamcast could do it. Which is like a lot of people kind of attribute that to why that console was abandoned 2 years after,
Oh, weird.
amongst other reasons.
I
but like,
never even heard of any of that.
oh yeah, I remember
I
playing
had a
Power
Dreamcast.
Stone, Spawn. I remember playing like a Spawn 3D fighting game. I feel like
Hmm.
it was a lot of Power Stone though. God, Power Stone is so bad.
That 3D Sonic game that came out for the Dreamcast was rough.
Is that? And it was like the introduction of Chow Island. What game?
I
What
remember
Sonic
playing
game
it at one
was
of my
it?
friends' houses. And
Sonic Adventure?
thinking, this is weird. It was a
That's
little
not right.
rough. Maybe.
That was another one we had
Can't
too.
type.
Where, like,
I'm not the designated typer.
no, I'm
today.
on it. I'm the typist. I am Chow Island. Yeah. Let's see here. Mostly used with SA. Sonic Adventure 2.
That was 98 with Sonic Adventure. Yeah, I don't think that was quite Dreamcast yet.
All those games I played.
Dreamcast
like,
was
when I with my cousins and
96.
stuff.
Was it not?
Was it?
Those were
No.
Dreamcast,
was
99.
2000s.
99. Yeah, 99.
99?
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't play
old.
a lot of those. I didn't have the console, so it was like over by different cousins and stuff that had a Dreamcast or even PlayStation. I didn't have the original PlayStation. We had a
Yeah.
PS2, but we didn't have PlayStation. We were all N64.
It was a
N64
real
and
time
such.
to be alive. I remember, I don't even know what it was called. The VMU, maybe? A huge thing that, like, plugged. It was like a Tamagotchi that plugged into the controller and had a screen on it. And I feel like I remember a little person on. Maybe my Chow lived on the VMU.
You still could, like, I think you could still use it outside of the controller, no? Because it was like also like a memory card kind of dealie.
See what
for
the
the
VMU was.
Dreamcast. It had like a little little buttons on it. Just
Oh
like
yeah,
the
it had a D-pad. It was like a Game Boy. It had a D-pad, an A, B, and a start and a select.
Yeah.
What a weird time. We should get back to video games just being fucking weird and crazy. What's that little? It's like
tried to keep it alive.
Do you like the Playdate? That little thing with the crank on the side comes preloaded with, or no, it doesn't come preloaded. Is going to have a set catalog of games that are like releasing online over a certain amount of time.
And you have to catch them with the reel.
I don't think all the games use the reel, but some of them. It's a real weird thing. Just like Google, I'm just gonna Google Playdate. Yeah, just if you Google image search Playdate, it's like a yellow Game Boy with a fucking crank on the side. And what's his name who
can't
brought us
type.
Katamari? Yeah, that's right. You're not
Damacy?
Katamari Damacy.
Oh yeah, I see it now. The Playdate.
Who's the creator? Katamari Damacy. He's supposed to have Kieta Takashi is supposed to have
Oh yeah.
a game coming to, or maybe it's already out on the Playdate.
That's a new thing?
That's so weird.
so
If you
old.
the first image that pops up of Kieta Takashi is what appears to be him naked with a King of the Universe doll. Very erotically.
Yeah, there you go. Just
posed.
that, and then crank up. Put a crank
Oh
on.
yeah.
It's fine.
Is that a Game Boy Color?
Yes.
Oh shit! If you're watching
I have
live this
some-
week,
I have-
does it turn
I have some
on?
Harvest Moon. Oh, I need to put batteries in it.
Oh,
Just feel some batteries.
I want to see the screen. I want to
It
see the
it's not
color.
backlit, so you can't see shit.
Yeah, you know that little like the light that pointed to the side
the
that
little
spiraled
screen that would
over.
go down and yeah. Where I don't even know where the game is. Hold on, I can
That's
probably
so
turn it on, though.
crazy.
Let me crank it up.
I haven't.
This is my old Game Boy Color.
What a treat if you're watching live. I haven't thought about Game Boy Color in 20 years. Look at that thing. Oh, it's got the light on the side. That's so dope.
Did it make the noise though? I didn't hear
No.
it. Maybe I turned it. Oh, I turned it down. Whoops. Hold on. Here you
Does it
go.
make the noise with every game or only first party? Oh,
It did it. Once
Such
more,
a
once more with
wonderful
feeling.
noise.
Wow, that gave me chills. That for
I have
gave me chills.
Super Wario World 3 and
That's a hell of a game.
Yeah, Wario
and
World
Harvest
games are
Moon,
fun.
which is one of my favorite games ever.
Hell yeah. Pokemon Pinball was on the
Glad I could share that with y'all.
Game Boy Color. I'm gonna scroll through the chat here real fast. Not really seeing any questions, thoughts, emails. That's fine. Sometimes we solve every issue in the entire universe, like this week.
Whoop.
Anybody ever play the God Eater series? I don't think so, right? Somebody is
Mm.
adamant that I ask about the God Eater series. I'm gonna
God, what?
God Eater. It's
God Eater.
very, very anime. PlayStation.
Alduin World Eater.
It's not more anime than that.
No, yeah.
Did you know that's the voice of Mario? Everyone knows that's fucking Charles Martinet.
Woohoo!
Podcast at talkingrex.com, an email address where you could join us here on the show. You could drop those voicemails over on our Discord. Head to talkingrex.com. You can find that. That's about all I have to tell you. Dan and Max, you got anything you want to plug here right at the very end of the show? Okay, great.
Planet Zoo.
Planet Zoo.
Let me really tell you guys about Planet Zoo here.
Nah, I got nothing.
Well, these boys stream almost every day over on twitch.tv/GassyMexican and twitch.tv/Danz with a Z, News with a Z,
Also with
Right.
a Z. A lot of people
Yeah.
mix it up with an S for the news for some reason.
DANZNEWZ.
Z for Americans out there.
It's not even a real letter. You know how many letters rhyme with Z?
Y, Z.
If you enjoyed, well, listen, if you like wrestling, there's no help for you. But you can listen to our brother show, the Suplex City Limits podcast. Actually, I heard wrestling is maybe getting okay with the AEW stuff, so check that out over on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, where you find this. And then October 18th, Retribution, the next TRWL event. We're gonna have some new competitors. Daniel Gidla. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Because we haven't really talked about if
I refuse to participate in this league, so
Okay.
I don't even know why you're throwing my name out.
You're right.
Thing.
You're right. I didn't want. I almost.
If I sign some contracts, maybe if I see my the upfront pay that I'm going to be getting here for joining the league, if that's
It's very low.
thing.
It's very, very low. I also almost spoiled the secret identity. Let's say we'll have some new competitors in the TRWL this month, which is October 18th, our next event. Competitors that you might recognize. Let's just call them D. Gidlow. No, that's too obvious. Daniel G. and Max G.
Who could those people?
It could be anyone. It's the TRWL. Anything could happen. October the 18th. Over on twitch.tv/Talking Reckless Podcast, our next event. That's all I got to tell you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
It was fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. We should maybe do this again sometime soon.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
On you at home.
Too.
Thanks so much for listening.
EX.
Talking Reckless EX, yeah. That's a great name. I love calling this Talking Reckless EX. You at home, thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us for the last 11 years, making this the longest running video game podcast in the entire universe. I don't know if you knew that, but we are the Guinness Universe World Record holders. Longest video game podcast. It's true. Thank you very much. I'll give you a 2 sweet. Probably turn the stream off here. I don't know. We've never really... Great job, everybody. We've never really ended a show like this before, but I think we'll... I don't know. We'll turn the stream off for now. Maybe they'll come back on later. I don't know. But thanks very much for joining us, everybody. I have nothing else to say other than thanks again to Max and Dan for making this happen, and for you at home for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. It'll take me a sec to get the stream on.
That is correct.